Accidentally became the biggest chess streamer of all time. Me! How is that possible?
Oh.
¿Pero qué tengo que meter? ¡Ah! Uy. Ahí me tengo que meter el micrófono.
Oh, please don't hurt me. Oh my god. Oh my.
Don't worry, don't worry. Yeah. I'm down here, guys.
I saw you, big man.
Ay, ay, ay.
No! 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 No, dude, no!
I am not a chess streamer. I don't know what I'm doing. I was just trying to draw a line, but accidentally dragged that.
Am I dead? Oh my god!
We can kill him. We can kill him. No! What? Wait, what? I want a refund.
Ah, can I stop my white off?
And as much cash as you can carry, you can keep. I don't care if you put it in your pockets, in your hoodie, in your pants, in your shoes.
You know, I still need to whip out my camera and put on a smile to get my picture taken. PogChamps competitor here.
Oh my god, this is supposed to be so good!
Hey, guys. Welcome to Thanks for the host.
Yeah, moving the pawn out 2 squares. Hey yo, this move here is too rare. He got the 2 pawns out there as friends. Yeah, night came around, yo, we ready to end. Oh my god, the queen making moves already. Yeah, pull the queen out, yo, this dude is heavy. Yeah, and y'all know knights move at the angle. You stepping up to Mac, then you straight get the
Welcome, everybody, to PogChamps 4, presented by Coinbase. I'm Grandmaster Robert Hess. Alongside me today, my good friend, Anna Rudolph. Anna, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, Robert, because finally we have managed to make you spawn at the scene of PogChamps 4. We have been talking about you every single show. I feel like we needed you here.
I've been hiding, and it wasn't because of you. Don't worry. It's all Danny. Don't tell him I said that. But I'm glad to be here with you, Anna, as we get into the playoffs. I mean, it's been a really exciting tournament this far.
It is going to be such an epic day. Let's bring up the bracket of the consolation championship, shall we call it that way? The consolation bracket has plenty of action going on today, starting with the match of Just the Minx against Jake and Bake Live. And then we have Mr.Beast facing your boy, Harry Mack. And also from the championship bracket, we're going to see at the very end of the day, Cristinini against Fundy.
Of course, some great matchups ahead. And before we talk about the specifics of the matchups, we do want to note that Puns withdrew from the tournament and is taking an indefinite hiatus from streaming to focus on his mental health. We wish him the best. And that means that Tectone moves into the semis of the constellation bracket, where he'll await the winner of Harry Mack versus Mr.Beast. But as you said, in addition to the two constellation bracket matchups, we do have a championship bracket matchup as well. There in the bottom left, Fundy versus Chris. And you've been working with Chris, so she has her work cut out for her against the very strong Fundy, who the players labeled as the top player in the event, the one that they expect to win. But I don't think that you're so sure about that, are you?
No, I'm so rooting for my girl, Chris. It is a tough match. Fundy is one of the favorites to win PogChamps overall, but Chris has improved so much that I think she will put up a big fight today, and she could surprise Fundy.
For sure. She was impressive in her previous matches. And speaking of previous matches, if you missed them, we've got the Coinbase recap for you to review the best moments from the day.
You know what? I'm just gonna take my free piece.
Oh God.
I'm just gonna take my free piece.
Oh God.
Instead of what?
Oh no.
So now I'm in
Take
check.
with the
Okay,
queen,
you are
for
getting
God's sake.
crazy with it.
Oh,
Okay.
he's gonna
now
figure
I
it
think
out.
I checkmated.
There's gonna be a
Boom,
force
that's
maid.
check. So
He's
she has
gonna
nowhere to
see
go.
it.
Boom.
He's gonna
Okay.
get it.
Wow.
I'm so happy.
I don't know if I made the right play. I don't know if I blundered. I don't know if I was doing something wrong.
No, it was
but I took my
flawless.
time there.
Perfect.
Okay. And I did it.
We need for her to lose so we can go in the pool. For sure.
I know I want to go in the pool. Oh, we go to the pool?
Yes.
Are we? Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, she's on vacation. I don't blame her.
Close your eyes and just feel where
Are
you're
you
going.
sure?
Close your eyes.
Do you think that's a good idea?
I think so.
Beth Harmon
Okay.
It cannot be
moment.
worse than you are now.
Okay.
It's true. I'm just saying.
Okay, you got me there. I didn't win, guys. I didn't.
Wait, what?
I lied. I'm not winning. The whole
Oh my god.
everybody.
Is this a celebratory celebration that you survived?
Yay! She won the match. Minx won the match, everybody. Don't take the rook. That's the only thing you can't do.
No, no, no!
No, slipped. Oh God.
Oh my God, a mouse slipped.
You have to get out of here.
Arnold
He
lives.
sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
We have to get out of here. Get to the chopper.
Get out!
Get
to
out.
the chopper.
Get to the chopper. We did it. You have to be careful. He's doing the wrong way.
Oh God, dude. Come on.
Ahora sí, juego como nunca y pierdo como siempre.
He's saying it wasn't the stalemate, wasn't the misclick.
Who invented that? Who in the right mind invented that? That doesn't make any sense.
This is why this is good for me. I have this defended right now, right? He goes here, I can still go here, and then I have this entire line defended. And then he cannot cross it, so it means I win this pawn.
Wow. I'm looking at this game by 5 up, and I'm ready to say we have a new favorite to win the whole event. Oh my
What
God.
a save. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Got it. Just move the knight.
But
Don't
it
play
paid
C3.
off.
Don't play C3. Oh my God. Oh my God. He put
What am I supposed to do? Oh no.
Do you use the bidet, Danny?
I was asked that question earlier today. I do not have a bidet, but if a bidet was available and I needed to...
Well, guys, we found out the true villains of today. 5 Up, very questionable, doesn't use a bidet. Danny, we asked him quite a lot. I think.
Lud, are
this
you
is where we
here?
should
Did you
leave
just
it, a
turn off your
mystery.
camera?
Yeah, it was a joke, Danny. You're supposed to end the stream and then
Yeah,
get us
that's
outta
what I'm
here.
trying to do, Danny. I was
Come
also
on,
ending
what?
it.
Do I
You
gotta do
guys are
everything for you guys? Do I gotta do everything?
Well, whether or not you have a bidet, you are more than welcome here. Anna, it was so funny to relive those moments with some impressive chess as well.
Exactly, some of the most hype, exciting, and evaluation bar dancing moments from our group stage. And today we will begin both the consolation and the championship brackets. The matches will start in a few minutes. But before that, Robert, we do have a very important call to action.
We certainly do, because Chess.com is happy to be supporting Rise Above the Disorder in their cause to remove the two greatest barriers to mental health care: access and affordability. Started by a World of Warcraft guild leader in 2013, Rise Above the Disorder has helped tens of thousands of people all over the world receive mental health care free of charge. Go to go.chess.com/rad to make a donation. And remember, Chess.com will be matching up to $100,000 of the community's contributions. It is a great cause, and we are very happy to see everyone supporting it. So Anna, well, we move on to the pairings for today. I always love these graphics. They're so well designed. Which are you most looking forward to, or can you even choose just one?
Well, I'm very biased as we are also coaches for the tournament, and two of my ladies are playing. Minx and Cristinini are my students and friends, so I'm certainly rooting for them. But as we said, Chris, for instance, is facing one of the overall favorites, Fundy. Minx is stuck in Romania waiting for her visa to get finally approved. So I think she has, unfortunately, more concerning things on her mind than the chess moves. Jake has come up with some amazing chess terms. I'm looking forward to some baby forks and the rest of the crew. And the consolation bracket second match, I'd like you to talk about that match, Harry Mack versus Mr.Beast, Robert.
You know, it's two great human beings in the center there. I can't really root for one, but I have been working with Harry Mack. His freestyle rap is unbelievable. His chess is getting there as well. But I have to give a shout out to Chris, because I'm Cristinini, I think has been maybe the most improved chess player since the start of PogChamps. So she has a tough match in Fundy, but if she continues her rise, we could see an upset in the making.
That would be absolutely epic. And yes, I'm super biased. I am super biased. But we are also happy to see, obviously, how much all of these players have come through, how much effort they have put into improving, getting ready for their matches. And we shall see who manages to move forward. This is already a knockout stage, so the loser, unfortunately, doesn't continue the tournament.
And we certainly don't want to say goodbye to anybody, because, you know, we look at the first match, Justin Minx and Jake and Bake Live, as you mentioned, the baby forks, and Justin Minx is always a fun person to watch. She's so creative and, well, sometimes a little loud, but we all appreciate it because it's humorous and in good fun. So I don't want to say goodbye to anybody, but today, September 9th, is the day where people must leave PogChamps for. And PogChamps is presented by Coinbase. Whether you're looking to make your first crypto purchase or you're an experienced trader, Coinbase has you covered. Visit coinbase.com/chess and get $5 in Bitcoin when you sign up and verify your account. We'll be back soon for the start of the match here in the playoffs.
Game starts in 4 minutes, baby. Let's go. Can you freestyle? Not like Harry Mack. I did not cover the body business. Right there, baby. I finished my breakfast.
Rackane. Thank you, Rackane, for the 45 months, dude. And Maud, thanks for the brand new sub. What's up? I'm finishing my food, and then we're going to start playing, guys.
Listen, boys, let me tell you something. Everybody mount up on your fucking shit. Get your fucking shit together.
Mount up, boys.
Wake up, look in the fucking mirror, dude.
Look in the mirror.
Look that? This could be you right here. Dread, Gladiator, Grayson.
Gladiator, Grayson.
You fucking have that. They try to take everything from me.
Everything.
And I'm still fucking here. Mitch Jones held accountable for everything I've fucking done. And while these people get away with shit, I don't. But I'm not fucking complaining. I still have 9 ranked ones, and I'm the motherfucking best. And I will prove that shit to the goddamn world to the day I fucking die. Fuck you! Target quiet while that's Mitch Jones. That's what's up. Fuck yeah! That's what's up. That's Mitch Jones. That's what's up. It's on the hill, that's it. That's what's up. That's Mitch Jones. That's what's up. Fuck yeah!
But no, that's 3 months.
Thank you for everything. Signing out, Mitch Jones.
Very nice. All right, chat. Get in the chest, baby. We're starting to play. With Justin Minks, 2 games. Constellation bracket, game 1 if you want to move on. If we don't, I think we're out. We want to move on because more money and more fame. Wish us luck. Chat has to go in emote mode. I will hide the chat. Remember the to-do list. Control the center. Develop the pieces. Castle. Checks. Captures. Threats. Loose pieces fall off. Watch out. Look out for your homies. Always check before we move that we're not. We are our pieces defended. And look for oncoming threats. Done. All right. Here we go. This is our time to shine, baby. All right. Once it starts, emote only. I'm hiding chat. Love you guys, chat, and here we go. I'm hiding alerts, I guess, too. I muted alerts, actually. Did we start? Wait, Twitch, chess.
That was quite a hype way to prepare for the match by Jake. Also, Minx is ready. The game is about to start. But before we head to the chessboard, let me remind you about all the platforms where you can follow us on social media and especially on Discord. If you want to win Diamond memberships, our sponsor Coinbase will be giving out Diamond membership for those of you who join our Discord and join in on the discussion in the PogChamps 4 channel. So make sure to join our Discord and also use the ! Contest command.
Absolutely. It's always good to be in tune with the latest chess events, including PogChamps. And while the format for the bracket stage, we know it, it's familiar to us, but it is elimination time. So the players, they're used to 10 minutes and 5-second increment games. And the tie breaks, that's where it gets really scary, right?
It is heartbreaking. As you said, Robert, we don't want to say goodbye to anybody. And yet that's what's happening today. Today is the last day where we have all participants showing up and half of them will be gone. Basically, winner moves on, loser stays at home. And the format, the time control is the same. But if there's a tie break after the first 2 rapid games, we will have the same sudden death blitz game with 3 minutes and 2-second increment.
And that's tough for these players who are used to playing those 10-minute games. They have more time to think. Then they start freaking out because they look at their clock. Wait, where'd all my time go? It's hard to make that adjustment for any player, and especially for the newer ones. But we're excited. Justin Minks and Jake and Bake Live are about to start their matchup. Anna, your work with Justin Minks, anything special for today?
Unfortunately, as I said, Minx has bigger issues than her preparation. She was going to travel to the US. She has signed with Team Envy and she has her full-time contract, but unfortunately her visa got temporarily rejected and she's stuck in Romania. So that's what she's currently trying to sort out. As much as we wanted to meet up for a stream and more chess lessons, she unfortunately has been very busy with the rest of the issues, bigger issues than the chess moves. But I think she still remembers our one and only lesson: take control of the center, develop your pieces. And that's exactly what Jake said as well from his notes.
And both players doing a good job of that so far. Justin Minks, she's doing it with pawns, right? She has this pawn chain from c7 to e5, and now brings up the knight. So it's a very good start for both players, and they're moving quickly.
They are moving quickly. That's important to keep track of the time. We also have now the two players on camera, and Minks is sporting, I think, a new headwear. I'm guessing that this is one of the souvenirs she picked up in Romania.
It looks like a ram helmet or something like that. She's ready for a fight. And, well, I think Jake, maybe not as ambitious as he could have been there.
Oh, you can't tell me it's
Yeah, let's listen in with Minks and hear her thoughts.
She looked a bit surprised by that move, bishop g5, a little taken aback. I'm not used to the silence.
Usually she listens to music and dances and sings along. This is a surprisingly silent moment. That's all right, Minks. Don't freak out. It's actually not that bad of a move.
What? There's people next door. Are they complaining? Are they complaining?
I said she's playing chess and they said it. We thought this was a great game.
Did they? Did they? Did they? Who?
The people in the next room. I'm not going to say their own number. Just let him be opening the door.
I thought that was room service.
And so did I. That's why the music room was everything.
Shit.
Gotcha.
Mom, I mean, you made me lose a piece. No, Mom, don't fucking why? No, I was literally, you freaked me out. You threw me off. Why would you fucking lie about that? Yeah, but don't fucking do that. Dude, Mom. I was going to lose anyway, but now I'm going to lose earlier.
Well, that was an unfortunate moment of distraction. Minks got I guess the IRL issues to also take care of, but in the end, I think everything is fine there. I wasn't exactly sure what's going on with the conversation. Her mom was worried for a moment, but I think they're fine. I think this is an Airbnb or hotel where they're staying at in Romania, and it's all right. Minks just panicked for a moment and lost her rook, but it's not a free rook. Lucky for her that the bishop could be captured, so it's not the best of trades, but the rook wasn't completely free.
That's right. And I felt like that was an IRL debate, right? Like her mom debated her, and it reminded me of, Mom, the meatloaf. Where's the meatloaf? So it's very funny to hear that. But it seems like she is frazzled. She was trying to get off to a solid start. And really, Anna, when it was that G6 move, it left her kingside very vulnerable, and then she couldn't quite fix it.
Yeah, and the move G6 on its own wouldn't have been a disaster. I think it's just that she was already freaking out, and the follow-up, pushing the H pawn and not realizing that the rook was hanging, was the main issue.
Exactly. And Jake, happy to take, and maybe we can listen to his thoughts.
Okay, that's what I
Looking
didn't
at
want
that
her to do,
E5
actually.
push.
Exactly what I did not
Minks
want
with
to see.
95.
Good move, though.
Wonderful classical music.
Yeah.
So focused.
And Jake finds the best retreat. That was the only way he could
I need to
hold
get
on
over
to the
here,
bishop
dude.
on
That's what I need to
c4.
do. I need to get a queen here. Maybe I should have moved here. Should have moved there. That would have been so much better, actually.
Nope, that would have been so much worse.
still a good move. How can I clear out this guy?
I like the way Jake is thinking, though. Full board awareness by Jake. And I just want to show Anna that the queen move that Jake said I should have gone for was a very bad one, because queen h3 would have been a Botez gambit that bishop on c8 would have gladly taken that queen there.
Yes, he's trying to get the queen close to the black king, understandable, but it's for the best for Jake that he ended up just dropping the queen back to e2 to guard the c4 bishop. I think Ming Sins has chosen the e8 square for her queen, and as Jake said, he wanted to get rid of that knight or chase that knight away from e5. He's pushing f4.
Great decision by Jake, because he was noticing that Minx's king is a bit vulnerable. And look at Minx. She doesn't just react. She doesn't say, my knight's under attack. Let me hit that queen, because if the queen moves, Anna, down goes the bishop on c4.
That is an excellent move by Mings, bishop to g4. And that's why I was telling her that she should have more confidence, because she does have board vision. She can spot moves like this, even if she didn't have much time to take lessons. I think she just simply has this instinct for what move could be potentially a strong one. So she found an intermediate move, bishop to g4. And will she find a follow-up that the bishop is hanging on c4?
A bit Irish.
Well, her mom entered the room, and we have her on screen here. Oh, don't.
Cheers to chess. I beat her twice today in chess. She did. She bet me twice today, and you're awful. My mom's so bad at it. Just shows how bad she is. I know I'm bad. I know you're not. She cut me a few times. Mom, I cut you a few. I'm good at the start, and then I'm bad at the end. But I'm really bad today.
She's a check. The checks captures.
I guess I have to eat his piece, otherwise he'll just eat me.
Okay.
Then that's gonna leave an opening. Fuck me. Okay, I don't know his plan. He's freaking me out.
See, Anna, she did realize her king was going to be in big danger, though.
She did. And I think if she had a bit more confidence, she wouldn't have been panicking that this is already bad.
I'm stressed. I'm losing. Don't tell me what to do, though, because that's cheating. What? Okay. 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 No, not commentate, but I thought you wanted to hang because you seemed to want to hang, but just I felt bad for yelling at you because you fucked me over.
Oh.
Well, call me fucking John Joe and pick my fucking pony.
Honestly, I want to give her my job as a commentator. This is amazing.
Minx is hilarious.
And pick my tournament. I did not see that move on the way. Gave me a little spook salt, did. Gave me a little bit of thought spook. I prefer this when I was drunk.
7-month swag.
There's a lot happening on the board and with the commentary as well. Both of these players obviously are hilarious. Jake has given us some excellent chess terminology, and Minx is just overall, whether she's doing well or whether she's losing, she's always extremely funny with her commentary on what's going on. She has just played bishop to f8, and this move could go well or could go very bad, depending on what Jake does here.
Yeah, the bishop was doing an important role of defending the knight. So now the queen, which is under attack, can scoop off that knight. But it was a good defensive instinct. So she recognized, she even said it, oh, my king is in danger. I need to help out. But if we just go back a few moves, taking that pawn on f5 a few moves back, that's what actually made her king even worse. Whereas the bishop on c4 had been hanging for a while.
And what's happening currently is that Jake did not realize that the knight on f6 was hanging. He gives a check on g5, and Minx finds the blocking move, bishop to g7. Funnily enough, the f6 knight is still hanging, but this is now a lot more difficult to spot. And Jake does it. Jake sees it now. There's a pin on the g file.
Exactly. So good vision, good full board awareness by Jake now to take that knight. Although it's not the end of the story, right? Because this knight e5 can still take the bishop on c4, and it's a bit messy.
Let's listen in with Jake and see what he thinks about this moment.
Oh. Very quiet
Okay.
today.
He checked me to put me in a fork, but I think I can just take. What do I take with? Probably knight, I guess. I don't want to leave that pawn down there. I don't want to open up my king too much, and I can also take his bishop if he takes that. All right. Let's see here. So he can't move. This is pinned right here, so he can't take this. What can I do here? I see what I need to do. I see it. Well. Check him.
Let's listen to what Ming says, but I think she's realizing that this is very dangerous.
I don't know what's the safe thing here.
She's not seeing the. Oh, she's about to get the bishop.
If I eat him, she eats him.
She forgot that she's in check.
No, I don't know what to do here. Oh, he's in checkmate, so I can't move him. No, he's cornered there. I don't understand.
Grab the rook. Move one of the attackers.
This isn't over. Jake has also missed that the rook was hanging, so he took the bishop, but missed that with that discover check, the rook will be captured.
And he pretty much had that pre-move. Like he was taking that bishop, but she didn't see it. In fact, she could have taken his bishop because bishop takes f7. The bishop on h5 could have retreated and captured, but she moved her king in the correct direction. She said, I'm going to get trapped in the corner. So she moved towards the center and then grabbed this rook, which Jake did not see was hanging, but still, he's up 2 pieces. The black king is in some big danger here, and he has so many more pieces to join the party. This knight can come to d5, this knight to g5, and unfortunately for Minx, it seems like he has too much firepower.
Yes, it's indeed a very promising position with the 2 extra pieces, even more so, obviously, for the attack. But I think at PogChamps, this is something that we have seen continuously at every edition, that things can turn around. It may look completely winning, but it's not over till it's over. And Jake could still go wrong as well. Basically, Jake, I think he has been playing really well in his group stage games as well, but he wasn't handling too well the time pressure. So I think what he should avoid for today is to not go too low on time. He has been making a conscious effort to speed up, but even like this, obviously, you don't have time forever, and the last few minutes can be more difficult for him.
That's true. Somehow I think he lost every game, but he was playing really well against Ludwig in the first game. He won that bishop. I remember his queen swung from the queen side over the king side to win a piece. And right now he's playing excellent chess, bringing this knight into g5. And
Here
we'll see if he can finish it off.
The juicy check.
He's seeing one
Okay.
juicy check. Does he see the other one on e6?
I think he's taking your guidance into account. He needs to play more quickly, but he had a big fork on e6 instead.
Yeah, that was no baby fork. That was
Okay.
a royal fork.
I should get queen here, unless he moves.
Oh, I love this song. Good choice, Jake.
This is
Iruma.
soothing music.
Okay. Okay, doing okay on time. So let's see. Let's just say he moved. Where'd he move to?
And does he always listen to classical music when he plays?
He mostly does, yes. It's quite a contrast when you have Minx. Today, I don't think she has a playlist prepared, but she often would listen to something very hype and upbeat.
I need to bring this rook out.
A great move.
Is there a better way I can mate this? Let me think. I should get my rook, dude. Okay, this should. This is.
Take number two.
I feel like I'm
at the
fumbling a
knight
bit
fork.
here. To be quite honest.
Oh. He's moving
And
so
Jake goes
quickly.
the other way.
Yeah.
Still extremely strong, the attack, of course, but he could have won the queen again.
I just can't. How do I get this queen, dude?
Just the move
Oh, you know
ago,
what?
Jake. Just the
I have
move
a
ago.
pretty good. Damn, I actually messed that up, I think.
It's a problem when you have so many good pieces that they take the squares of your other pieces. Like that queen wants to be where the knight on g6 is.
Exactly. And if we just show for one moment what was the fork that Jake missed, it seems that that's his blind spot in this game. The e6 square is what he had for his knight already now for the second time in the game, and that would have won the queen. That's what he wants. He was talking about how to get to the queen, and then he missed this chance.
Yeah, it would have been a devilish tactic there. And he instead goes knight g6, which is a good move. And as I was saying, right, like you want to play queen takes knight on g6 to give a big check, but you can't take your own pieces. So he needs to figure out how to get out of his own way.
And will he do that? He thinks that he has messed it up a little bit. Will he realize that he still has time with these extra two pieces to regroup his pieces, retreat the knight, and free the space for the queen, or bring his rook into the game, because that rook from a1 is still out of the action?
Right, and he's been talking about it. So bring the rook to f1, as you're saying, Anna, helps protect the knight, also brings another attacker into the game. So he just needs to get this right, but his time is ticking and he's down under 3 minutes. And you've mentioned that's when he struggles.
Yes, I'm afraid that if he doesn't speed up now, okay, he chooses knight to d7, and that's still rather fast. Let's see if Minx will move the rook away, and if so, what square she chooses for the rook.
Just hovering over it. It's a great choice if she goes there. Nice
Excellent indeed. Attacking the queen, and the bishop too needs to be guarded, as well as the d7 knight is depending on the white's queen protection.
And now Jake is down under 2.5 minutes. So if he's trying to be a perfectionist, now might not be the time, because he really is losing on the clock.
Let's listen in with his stream as well and see what he thinks.
Great move.
Dude, I'm so confused right now. All I need to do is get this bad boy out. I haven't felt like I've had a turn where I can actually get it out. Wait a second.
Maybe this is the turn Jake was talking about. Will he bring the rook in?
Something is going on here and I can't figure out what it is.
He has got a good sense, though, that there's something going on. Good choice. The rook is out.
All right, definitely can't lose on time here. I have a rook following my queen file now, which is very good. I think I'm set up here. Well, her queen is just very scary to me. Everything's defended. All my homies are defended.
That's what he has in his
Do I push
notes.
pawns
Defend
up?
all the homies.
For extra defense? Do I attack? I think this is it. Okay.
Great decision.
Well, this is everything's still defended.
Yeah, just a few moves away from checkmate, and the few moves could literally be one move if Jake spots checkmate in one.
Okay, that should be queen, I guess. Or I could go here.
Oh.
No! Fuck. Oh my god, didn't see it.
Let's swap to Minx as well. I think she is just face palming in this very moment, realizing that her queen is now hanging.
Fuck me! Fuck me, dude. Dude, Jake's good. Jake did endgame too. Okay, you know what? You know what? Chat, I'm correct. I'm correct. I'm better at this when I'm drunk. I'm better at this when I'm...
Anna, well, I guess next time for coaching, if you can't, meet up for sessions, you need to send her a bottle of something to help her out.
It seems that Minx needs to get her confidence boost. She wasn't doing poorly. She just doesn't believe sometimes that she is capable of playing at a higher level because all of her opponents in the group stage and also here are higher rated than she is. But that bishop was hanging on c4 for a while and they both missed it. At the final phase, though, I think this was perfect play by Jake. He just brought in all the homies. They were defending each other and then beautiful checkmate. He didn't even take the queen. He just moves queen to h6 instead of capturing the free queen.
He's kind of a perfectionist, it seems. He's always looking for the better move. It's why he gets in time trouble. But he's nearly 900 and he might be a favorite to win this consolation bracket if he keeps it up.
Indeed. And I think before we head over to the second game, we will give you guys a short break, but we will not leave you without entertainment. Minx is analyzing her game on her stream right now.
Hype music. That was there for ages. Yeah, they're really fucking calling me out. They're like, no. Just think, what can I attack before you move? Do you play ironically? I wish. I actually don't know what that means.
Let me smash.
Noel Bankson 2001 made it rain with 10 euros. Can you call Schlatt to say he is handsome and should make a OnlyFans?
No, I'm trying not to fucking lie as much. This trip has made me a better person. You still get 3k though? What does that even fucking mean? 3k points? Is that how many people bet on me? No. No. Why? Chat. No, 3k USD? Chat, I've not won one game. What the fuck do you mean I win 3k? What? I love fucking chess so much. Oh my god, I love chess. Oh my god. Bring me back next year. Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Now I need hype music. I fucking love chess so much. So much. Okay, right, I'm gonna run to the toilet really quickly before the next game. I love chess. I love chess so much. So much. I love chess.
All the homies were being looked out for in that game. All right. This is a big game, baby. Okay. Come on, I got Chess Weeb and Nemo's training on my side. All right, so they're taking a short break. I'm a little shaky and a little nervous. A little nervous. Maybe I need some warm-up music. From my hit K-pop single, according to Wikipedia.
Scrolling through my phone, I see the notification. My queen came online, time to send a donation. 12-month tier 3 sub and bit leader. Still praying one day that I might get to meet her. Patreon and private Snapchat got 'em all. If it's ever leaked, nah, it wasn't my fault. She knows me by name, nah, I'm not shady. One day she'll be my lady. Currently a VIP, one day an MOD. If I ever miss action, I'll just watch the VOD. Throwing cat, showing plebs feet, but none of that matters to me. Everyone in the chat thinks I'm a wimp, but little they know I'm just a simp.
Own streaming history while supporting your favorite gamers and streamers by buying their digital collectibles on Eternal. Collecting these sometimes hilarious, always epic gaming and IRL highlights directly benefits the creators while providing you, the fans, something unique and special to keep. Sign up on Eternal.gg, build your own collection, and feel the thrill of ripping digital packs and viewing amazing moments in the marketplace.
And I'm not quite sure what that pump up song is, but it seems to be working for Jake. He's in the lead, 1-0 over Justin Minks. Pretty good first game there by Jake. I must say he was bringing in all the homies.
That was the key. He talked about it and he did bring in and defended all the homies. It was a great work between the minor pieces and the queen. He didn't even take the free queen at the end of the game because he spotted checkmate. That was a beautiful finish. And now the players are ready for the second game. Minks needs to win the second game with the white pieces to tie the score and earn the right to a blitz tiebreaker.
And well, the game is getting underway. Minks in her ram hat. I'm not sure she knew the game was starting because she seemed pretty.
It's not so easy to run a stream from one laptop. That's why we constantly see her OBS as well.
I think we see her drinking too.
Yeah, she did say that probably was missing from the first game. I think she had a drink in her hand during the first game, but she was taking it light. I think all of her comments obviously need to be taken as a lot of times just joking and with irony, including when she's complaining about her mom, because she and her mom have a really good relationship.
Oh, we definitely will need to ask her both about the grape juice she's drinking and how she feels that her mom's debating her earlier.
She's got the development right. She already has 1 point in the center, developed her kingside and castle, everything as we learned at the lesson.
This is not okay to do. He freaks me out with that. I don't like this move he does. He did this last time and it threw me off. He did this last time and it threw me off. Copium, dead ass copium.
well.
Let's listen with Jake as well and see how he feels about this position.
Under any threats? Use our time wisely. Don't let time... Okay, he's moving rook out. Interesting move there. Not quite sure. Little interesting. I'm going to castle.
Ooh.
Well, Jake realized that the pawn push of Minx was not the best choice here with that knight hanging.
Yeah, he hasn't mentioned it yet. But we need to focus on what changes with every move we make, and that pawn was an important defender.
Oh, he moved already. What the heck? Okay.
Okay, now I understand.
But that's actually bad for him because he doesn't even probably realize what the last move was.
That's true. Even if it's highlighted slightly, that b3 square.
And he's grabbing pieces that are not. Oh gosh, I think we should
I think we wasted
show
a little bit too much
everybody
time.
what the mistake was there. And actually, it was just happened a second time. And now Jake, he was like sort of encouraged to find it, because if we just go back a couple moves, Anna, the move b3 left this knight hanging, and Jake didn't take it the first time. And then when you play a3, the bishop has to move, but somehow he wasn't thinking forward. He's just retreating. And what goes on, do you think, in the players' minds to retreat rather than take a piece in the forward direction?
I'm not sure. I would have predicted that Jake was gonna spot it after his bishop was forced to move. I think the first time that he didn't see it was understandable, since he didn't even notice it was his turn and he wasn't paying attention to what was the last move of Minx. But it's I think more surprising that he didn't see the second time. Minx was shocked for a moment there, but her knight has survived and she has gained quite some space on the queen side. This is now looking better for white. Not much, of course, but it's important that the knight is safe.
Absolutely. Those pawns, they march forward. The bishop doesn't look very good on b6. It's staring into a pawn chain. So not very good news for that piece that could have taken a knight for free. And you're right. I think part of it was that he didn't even know that it was his move. But also sometimes I think newer players, they struggle to attack and go forward because they're worried about, are they doing the right thing? And that was a moment that I think Jake will regret when he analyzed the game.
Possibly. And speaking of that, I'm looking forward to the next match, in a sense that Mr.Beast is one of the PogChamps players that always surprises us with his creativity. When it comes to his pieces being attacked, he usually counterattacks instead of moving his pieces. He's the opposite.
Which is a good attribute to have, because instead of just reacting every single time, to be creative and come up with threats of your own. That is cool. But unfortunately, I think for Mr.Beast, sometimes he needs to reel it in a little. And for Minx, she moved her knight out. It's not a terrible move. It's fine. She's offering a bishop trade. And Jake needs to see that this bishop is attacked twice, not just once, and is only defended a single time.
Let's listen in with Jake now and see if he feels the danger. Will he trade the bishops or defend it?
What are they looking to do? Capture this? Now let's see. Do I give this up for the sole purpose of my next move? So let's see. I move here. He moves here. I move here. Guaranteed rook. I think I'm going for something juicy. Going for something juicy here. Oh no, I blundered. Take the bait. 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 Take the bishop. I know you want it. You want the bishop. It's so juicy. It's just hanging. The bishop's hanging. Why wouldn't you take the bishop? It's just chilling right there. There's no reason not to take the bishop. Right, guys? Yes, nodders. Yes. Why wouldn't I take the bishop? Exactly. Any moment, the bishop will be taken. Which I don't know if it's actually that good of a move, but it's a move.
Let's listen with Minx and see the pieces she's clicking on. Is it the bishop?
She's hovering the knight. That's a great move by Minx.
Indeed, taking the knight. She could have even taken with the other knight, but that was more difficult to see. That is her sub notification, Robert.
Is it?
Yes.
I was gonna say some people sneeze on the truth, others belch on the
Oh, I
truth,
need more
so.
drink.
I'm not sure Jake has expected this capture. It could have been even better with the other knight, so that the knight on g5 wouldn't be hanging right now. But Minx just continues capturing the pawn. It's an extra pawn.
Some great decision making by Minx. She said that she needed a drink, it would help her chess, and I have to say I'm not encouraging it, but she's playing better this game.
She has taken that free pawn. We could show it just for a brief moment that if it was the other knight that captures first and Jake goes for the same response, then she would have ended up winning the bishop as well. But it was not that simple to see, and there could have been an intermediate move with a capture on e2. So it was a very messy position for a PogChamps match. It's normal that neither of the players could calculate it with clarity. But in the end, Minx went for the safe decision, capturing twice on e4, and is up a pawn.
She is, and she moved her knight away. It was just under attack. So honestly, she's playing really, really well, with the exception of leaving this knight on c3 under attack before. But it was a mistake. She moved on, and her play is great. In fact, her pieces are much better than Black's. The bishop on b6 isn't doing that much, and she retreated her knight out of danger. She is up a clear extra pawn.
I would love to hear her thoughts and also check back in with Jake later on if this is the bait he was hoping for. I don't think so.
Very different styles of music.
Oh, I can't think now. His queen is freaking me out. I don't understand that move. I don't understand that move.
I think that's another great move to gain more space on the queen side and ask this knight, where do you want to go? There aren't too many squares for the knight available.
And I wonder what Jake is thinking, where to move it. Now we see his arrows.
That's the question right now. I don't want to retreat yet, so I'm going to try to move there and see how that goes. I still would like to get this out. So now she's probably going to bring this out. I don't know. Let's see. Pretty even on time here. I want to get this out and then push this pawn. That's like my strat. That's like the idea I have in my head. So I want to do. Because that way...
That is a great idea.
If she takes, I take queen. If she doesn't take, I take, and I'm moving on to little baby forks. And trust me, we know we want those baby forks. Oh boy, do we want baby forks. But it's all based on what she plays here. I mean, she has a lot of moves, actually. She has a... I mean, shoot. She has a... Nope. She has moves. I mean, I think she does have some pretty good moves. She can move right here. Put my bishop in... You know, if she moves here... Crap, that's really good, I think. That's actually a really good move. I don't think I have any options to that. Okay, let's just... that might be our best move. That's really good, actually. Holy crap. Traps my bishop. So she moves there. What do we do?
Oh, this is great. The way he's thinking about the game is wonderful.
His
Honestly,
idea to bring the rook to the d file and then push the pawn is excellent to attack the center of white, and noticing that there's a pin on the d file. He's slightly worried about the knight jump if Minx plays knight to a4. But in reality, it's not an issue because his bishop is protected by both pawns.
And Minx makes a good move with the bishop to f3, attacking this pawn on b7, but you need to notice that the knight does protect the square. I have to say, the fact that Jake is sort of reversing the board and thinking about his opponent's plans is not something we see from all of the PogChamps participants. So it's really nice to see that that's how you're supposed to think about chess, and he's doing a great job. And Minx, really, she's performing so much better this game. Anna,
I jinxed it.
I'm going to stay silent. It's your show now, Anna.
All right, Minx, you okay there?
Why did he do that? Did he have a plan? I was going for this fucking piece here. I was going for this piece.
How about Jake? Is he noticing that he can just take it with the pawn?
No, chat, stop. Okay.
I think Jake is about to click on his knight.
No.
Wow.
Just when Minx realized, Jake chooses the knight to capture the bishop.
Oh, and she's
And
grabbing
Minx
her
will
knight.
think she lost the piece because she didn't even look. She knew what was gonna happen to her bishop.
Wait, but knight a4 is a really good move by her. It's what Jake
It's a
was
very
scared
strong
about earlier.
strategic move indeed. That knight is heading toward the c5 square. She did not lose the piece. Jake didn't capture on c6 with the pawn. But I'm just hoping that she realizes it because she noticed that her bishop was hanging in the end by the pawn. The pawn could have taken it. And she was holding her face in her palms when the move happened. So I'm not even sure that she realized in between that it wasn't the right capture by Jake.
And Jake was fixated on freeing his bishop, which is why he played that c6 move to begin with. But this is danger zone for Minx because the bishop on c7, if Jake knows what a battery is and brings the queen to d6, that could spell checkmate on h2 in the near future, Anna.
Let's listen in with Jake and see if that is his idea. The rook went back to a1, a bit of a
Okay.
mysterious choice.
Pause.
Jake.
Champ.
Jake is setting up
Pause.
the attack.
Her only defense is this, right? And if she does this, what do I do is the question. Do I attack it?
Needs a stonewall lesson from Cutie Cinderella to play f4.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There it is, baby! We found a little sneaky attack over there. Let's go! Woo!
Wow.
Oh my god. All right. Bring up the alerts.
Wow. And
That came out of the blue. That checkmate queen h4, setting up the attack on the h2 square. And Minx didn't realize how dangerous it was. I think she was freaking out from the queen, but didn't fully understand how much she should have been freaking out.
I think they left us with an easy choice for the play of the game presented by Eternal.gg because it was just happened right now in the last few moves, Anna, where knight a4 was a good choice by Minx, but Jake, seeing the bishop was under attack, he thought that bishop could get trapped, returns it to c7. And Anna, I mentioned Cutie Cinderella, her opening play with the f4 move, which shut down that bishop, but after rook a1, queen h4, unfortunately, Minx just didn't see it coming.
Yes, maybe Minx should have had another session with Cutie. They are very close friends, but I think because of the travel issues and such, Minx didn't have time for chess. And it showed that Jake played really well today. Excellent chess in the first game, in the second game. He clearly deserves to move on to the semifinals. And who knows, as you said, maybe now we have a new favorite for the consolation bracket.
He played extremely well. Honestly, I was very impressed by the way he was thinking, not just about his ideas, but what she could do to stop his ideas. Even in this last moment here, was like, okay, I'm threatening checkmate. She should stop it. So maybe she'll play h3. And he was talking about the bishop takes h3, ripping the king open so that the queen could swoop in with the bishop and the queen aiming at that square once more. So that was, Anna, I think, a really impressive performance by Jake.
Excellent game. The only moment where he didn't realize that he had something was a few hanging minor pieces, the c3 knight and earlier the c3 knight and later the c6 bishop. But overall, he put together a very strong attack and clear ideas. So that was a very impressive play. And I think because this was impressive, this would be our choice. But we also want to know, what is your choice for the eternal play of the game? You only need to sign up at eternal.gg and connect it with your Twitch account. That's literally a few second call to action to go to eternal.gg, connect it with your Twitch account. And from then on, you can type in eternal in the chat every time you see a moment that you think should be eternalized. What happens with the winners? Robert, please tell us about what can people take home and what can they order?
Yeah, well, the play of the games that received the most votes will be turned into digital collectibles and dropped on September 12th, with all proceeds going to RAD charity dedicated to making mental health accessible. So 3 lucky viewers who voted will win a free pack, and we'll announce the winners. And of course, you can pre-order the PogChamps 4 pack containing epic moments from this tournament, including those voted by you. There's a limit of 3,000 packs. They're going fast, 3 packs per user. So sign up now with your Twitch account and watch out for more info and voting to turn play of the game into eternal packs you can win.
That is indeed 3 winners per every match. So there's a lot of chance to win. But if you don't want to just leave it to a bit of randomness, do order the packs as soon as you can, because as Robert said, it's a limited edition and most of them are gone already. We only have a few hundred samples left, a few hundred packs, and all of the proceeds will go to supporting Rise Above the Disorder, our charity.
Absolutely. Well, we are going on a short break so we can bring the players in for a post-match interview. And in the meantime, enjoy Harry Mack freestyling some awesome rap.
So yeah, access about 1,000 total were sold. Less than that, like 950 or something like that. It was crazy. Way more than we thought. We would maybe sell 100. So shout out to everyone who supported the Brainwave. All right, let me make sure my chess. Yes, I'm definitely going to keep playing chess after PogChamps. In fact, that's my favorite thing about PogChamps. If you've been following me in PogChamps, you know that I have yet to win a game in the competition. I've lost 5 games and 1 was a draw. So there you have it. But I feel like I've won. And it's not because I'm delusional and lack self-awareness, although I'm sure I do to some extent lack self-awareness, as most of us do. But no, the reason I feel like I'm winning is because I have developed a true and genuine interest in chess. And I actually really, really enjoy playing. I really, really enjoy learning about it. It's been awesome to be able to study privately with Robert Hess, the Grandmaster himself. He's a really, really great mentor and teacher. And so, yeah, I'm going to keep, well, I'm saying now that I'm going to keep going with chess, and I'm saying it so that I can hopefully you all can help hold me accountable, because I don't want to let go of this chess thing. I don't want to only do it because the pressure's on now. I actually want to be a chess player, man. I'm really digging the game. It's so cool. I have not watched Queen's Gambit. I know it's like sacrilegious to say that and to be in this competition. Like, that would be the bare minimum, right? At least watch the show. Everybody loves the show. I know that I would love it. I don't watch a lot of television these days, but I do want to make time for that. Mr.Beast is quite good. God damn, scary. Very scary. I'm on Chess TV now? My God, what up, Chess TV? We here. Getting ready for Mr.Beast, getting ready for Mr.Beast, yeah, Mr.Beast, are you ready for this competition? Understand, H-Mac is on a mission, yeah, I'ma flex on songs, I'ma do a little shout out to Chess.com,
Every time I rhyme, I'm sitting in my guard stance. It's an honor for me to be here at PogChamps. Yeah, I bring the thunder flames. Truth told, I haven't yet won the game. But today, we about to solve this mystery. H-Max spits it free, live here with Mr.Beast. Yeah, ayo, my skills, they be vital. Me and Mr.Beast, we about to go viral. Yeah, and money, the world really needs this. But will Mr.Beast be philanthropic with pieces? I don't know, I'm really trying to claim them. Every time I'm rhyming, the instrumental I'm flaming. Yeah, and y'all know we about to get it done. To be honest, I'm just in this session having fun. We'll see how far we take it. My lyrics, they be sacred. I keep it honest all the time, you know I never fake it. Let's really go. I come off top with the illy flow. Fourth game, y'all know that we out here spitting more flames. Yeah, hey yo, we about to get it done. Heart and soul, couple places that I spit it from. Yeah, will I go pawn to E5? H-Mac about to dive. Why do rappers even try? Got the knight coming at the right angle with my pieces. Yeah, might tangle. I'm coming through, freshest on the scene. If you not paying attention, then I might snatch.
Welcome back, everybody. We have both players in for the interview. Thanks so much for joining us. And well, Jake, I have to start with you. That was a very impressive display. You brought all your pieces together and delivered the knockout blows. How did it feel?
It felt good. You know, I had a couple of homies back there on the back lines. Couldn't forget about them, you know, throughout the whole process. And without them, I wouldn't be here today. But no, actually, there was many times during the games with Minx, I was like, I don't know if you guys caught, I was like, come on, take the little bait, or like take the, like, don't see it, please. I was like, rely. I was like, come on. But the first game was super scary, actually. I was like, okay, I'm ahead. Like, this is cool. I'll get in the corner. And then she played like every move she did. I have to go and analyze it or whatever. But like, I was like, oh my God, my back's up against the wall. And I actually might lose all my pieces right now. I was actually so terrified.
That was
Did you feel?
No, the first half, because I don't know if you tuned in, but I was yelling at my mom because in the first thing, and I thought I was moving off the side that wasn't the king because she had told me the hotel neighbor was complaining. She was doing a bit. She was like, they're saying like if she's playing chess, you know, that isn't okay. She's being too loud. So I'm like, looking at her, I'm like, what do I can't get kicked out here because everything's gone wrong. She goes on for 5 minutes, then she goes, I'm kidding. And I was like, I blamed her for losing, but also I would have lost regardless. But at the start, fuck, frick you, mom, frick you, mom. But no. Jay, the end game was insane. That last game caught me off guard, and that's when I realized that I had no chance against him. No, I really thought in the end game I had it. Like in confidence, I thought I was doing good, and then out of nowhere, checkmate popped up, and I had a moment where I was like, I don't understand what happened here. This is lag.
Might have been a glitch in the system. We could go back and analyze.
Yeah, it means we did catch the IRL debate that happened. Honestly, props to your mom because she played you pretty good.
She did. I don't know. Like, it's the fact that like we already got removed from a hotel due to stuff, so I really believed it was happening again with the bad luck, and I'm like, I can't deal with this right now. Not right now. Not with chess.
Yeah, I'll have to PayPal your mom later for the distraction. She definitely helped me out.
I was gonna say if your mom is on Team Jake, because it felt like that.
Yeah, mom. And then actually, mom, come here real quick. She said at the end, I showed her the finishing move that Jake did.
Oh, yeah.
And she said, she was just like, oh, you're just stupid. She didn't even like try to. So I blame my mom. I'm so sorry.
Hi, Minx's mom. How you doing?
Okay, you can go now. No, get off me. You made me lose.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh, whoa. Hey.
Well, Jake, you do have a new fan, I believe. And Minx, I know that there's a lot going on with your travel, so it's difficult to focus on a chess match when your visa got temporarily denied. So we hope the best for the process and that you manage to make it to the US and don't get stuck in Romania.
Yeah. No, I'd love to blame it on that, but I've lost every match since. I will say, like all the people I played, Jake was like literally the one I struggled the most against, I believe. I thought it'd be Sapnap, I feared. But Jake, you in the Twitter thing, he was like, don't worry, I have a 1-1. You had it from the start of each game. And then you checkmate. Like, you checkmate both games. That's so impressive.
Thank you. I've never seen Minx this wholesome. I don't know how to react, guys.
She's very wholesome in reality, and she loves her mom. I want to clarify, because not everybody understands Minx's humor, that she has a very good relation with her mom. Minx is my homie.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom's my best friend.
Awesome.
Except for today.
Well, Jake, you're moving on. I mean, it was your first match win. How are you feeling now that you've got a victory under your belt and continuing on in the consolation bracket?
Well, I've tasted a little bit of blood, and let's just say I'm ready to cannibalize. Yeah,
that sounds very promising for the semifinals.
Yes.
And last but not least, Jake, about that preparation, because I know Minx very well. We have been buddies for a while. But your dance, I think you wanted to outperform Minx. It was Minx so far who has been singing and dancing for during the games or before. And this time, Minx, you missed the show there. Jake was all in.
Yeah. How to get the blood flowing there.
What? So you were usually I dance to distract from how bad I am at the game. So man destroyed me and was dancing. So we got the double flex going on. Okay, Jake, I'll beat you in Monopoly next time. We'll have a rematch.
Before the game, it was the preparation. During the game, Jake was super focused.
You trying to play Monopoly? All right, we'll talk later. Monopoly man's coming for you.
Well, whether it's Monopoly, Deal, or Chess, you two are both always a great time. So thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. And Jake, we'll see you again soon for your next match.
And Minx, all the best for your trip.
Good luck, Minx.
Thank you. Good luck in your matches, Jake. Thanks for having me again, guys.
Of course.
That is a potential Monopoly rivalry rising, and also the dance. I'm telling you, Robert, that was epic. The preparation of Jake. I should have asked also what was that in that bowl. It felt like he was munching on a bowl of cereals while dancing and rocking out. It is currently Minx was rocking out on her stream. That is her Be Right Back that I saw for a second. I have both streams still open, but we have no time to waste because we are here also for a very important cause, that is our charity initiative. We are supporting Rise Above the Disorder. Please do donate if you can. Every single donation will be matched by Chess.com up to $100,000. Rise Above the Disorder helps tens of thousands of people to get access to mental health for free. And this is such an important cause. We want to make sure that everybody is aware that if you use the command !RED or click on the donate button, you can contribute. Every single penny matters, and Chess.com is matching every single donation. So thank you so much to everybody who has helped so far.
Yes, we really do appreciate it. It is making a world of difference. So thank you so much. And I do see Tectone in the chats and come on, Mr.Beast. I don't know how Harry Mack's going to feel about that, but we're going to go to break because when we return, we'll start with a matchup between Mr.Beast and Harry Mack coming up shortly.
5 minutes out. All right, we'll switch off the emotes. What's poppin', y'all? Woo! A random guy, you bet all your points on me? Oh my God. As though I didn't already feel pressure. Can I tell new viewers what's going on? Yeah. I'm about to be in PogChamps, y'all. I've been in PogChamps. Unfortunately, I didn't win any of my games in the first leg of this. So, but luckily, there's a bracket for the losers. And I am in that bracket. And it turns out that Mr.Beast is a loser as well. Not generally speaking. He's pretty much as much of a winner as anyone could ever hope to be. In terms of having one of the biggest YouTube channels in the world and changing people's lives for the better on a very consistent basis. So shout out to him. But in PogChamps, it appears as though we have both lost, and now we find ourselves playing each other as losers to see who will win in the losers bracket. So it's very exciting. Obviously, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Mr.Beast. So no, I'm not going to roast Beast. But yeah, that's what's going on. I am in PogChamps playing against Mr.Beast, the Mr.Beast. Okay. Hey, GM Hess. Thank you, man. Can't root for anyone because you're commentating, of course. Much love. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for your guidance.
Trying to hold it all in my mind here. We'll see. Shout out to GM Hess, man. Incredible, incredible human being. Great teacher. Best mentor I could have asked for. I've been playing chess for about a month now, I guess. Yeah, you know, it's been awesome. I'm very excited about chess, truly. I'm going to keep playing even after this competition. Revenge of the Prawn said, can't believe you're nervous. You must not have seen any of my other games. I've been very nervous for all of them. No, but I'm here to have fun, man. It's going to be dope. How long until you're playing him? It should be in just a minute here. The prediction is that Chandler ruins it somehow. Wow. Harry is the king. Listen up, you pawns. All right, we should be about there. So Bong Cloud is the best opening move in chess. I don't think that's true from the context clues, but I don't know what Bong Cloud is. Okay. They say emote chat win in game. I'm going to do it now because I just got notified. I think we're close. All right. Emote only. It's coming soon. Wow. Oh, wow. Thank y'all for supporting me through this journey, by the way. It's been awesome. I've gotten a lot of love from the community. It's been really dope. Shout out to this dancing octopus. Squid, my apologies. And shout out to this hype Yoda. Slight delay here. Mr.Beast is getting seated. Okay. Oh, my God. He's in the building. He's getting situated. Wow. No idea what to expect, as always. But I'm going to try to bear in mind the key principles as I understand them. Develop my pieces. Control the center, you know. Double check to make sure I'm not going to.
And before Harry's match against Mr.Beast begins, let me remind you that we do have a 1-week free trial, both on iOS and Android, available for Learn Chess with Dr. Wolf. Dr. Wolf is the next best thing to an IRL coach. It could be your next virtual chess coach if you want to improve. It will have everything you need for your further progress. And as I said, it's free, 1-week free trial, both on iOS and Android. Not as good of a coach as Robert Hess, I must say, because Mr. Robert Hess is the coach of Harry. Am I correct, Robert?
You are correct, but I don't coach and tell, so I can't give you any more information than that. Harry's been working hard. He's been making tremendous strides. I'm excited because Mr. Beast, I have to give him full credit because he's looked really good in some of these matches. His first game against Ludwig, that was Beast's immortal.
That game, I felt like, is the game that we recall as Mr. Beast has won the match. It's not the case because there was a tiebreaker and Ludwig won that tiebreaker, but he did come with a 20-move long preparation that prepared by Mr. Daniel Wrench. Is it why Danny is not here today, by the way, Robert? Do you think it's a prep battle between you and him again?
I hope not, because, you know, I just want them to have a good time. No more prep battles. It's not about the coaches, it's about the players. But I am excited to see this matchup because I think Harry really has improved, and his rating belies his strength because it's like 200 something. He's way, way, way better than that. And if he can find his form, his confidence, he can go toe to toe with Mr.Beast, who has looked so much better in this PogChamps than the previous one. It's clear that he has progressed as a chess player.
He has progressed a lot. I think he is just grabbing some final snack. It's important to hydrate and also get those, well, what would you call as a brain food? Nuts, bananas. What is your trick, Robert, as a grandmaster? What shall we eat for playing good chess?
You know, it's funny. I don't really eat during my games, and maybe that's why I haven't increased my rating. But I think that's, we see Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, MVL, always with a platter of fruit.
True. Platter of fruits and nuts have always been very popular. Mr.Beast did have a few snacks the other day, and I think he believes in the ritual. It also helps, of course, if he has been having a busy day and is hungry. He's going for a gambit. Robert, your thoughts?
Well, he goes for this gambit. He loves to sacrifice material. And on the very second move of the game, he plays e4, which Harry takes as the free pawn. And after f3, Harry is now thinking what to do. He plays knight f6, which is a good move, defending the e4 square. So if the pawn takes, he can take back. Now, Mr.Beast has moved his knight out to c3 and is attacking this pawn a second time. He doesn't want to just have even material. He likes the interesting imbalance of a fight that he goes for in these gambits.
I wonder if Harry will react to this. Now the pawn is under the pressure of both the knight and the pawn. Shall we listen in with his thought process?
Okay.
He's very quiet.
And focused on the e-pawn, he's pushing e6.
Mm-hmm.
Mr.Beast takes the pawn on e4. Now he has a very strong center, but Harry could start attacking it if he pins the knight on c3, and he's about to do so.
Love that move. Bishop b4, developing, creating a concrete threat in the center of the board. So it's a very good start from Harry, but Mr.Beast is in his territory. He knows these opening lines, these gambits, but Bishop b4 was a really good choice, as now the e4 pawn is under attack, and Black is ready to just castle next move if you want to.
This was a great way by Harry to react to a gambit that he hasn't studied. He didn't want to hold on to the pawn. He just wanted to get his development quick. He could have even won a pawn if he had taken the knight and then captured on e4 or the pawn on d4. Both central pawns were in trouble and are still in trouble. I wonder if Mr.Beast will try to hold on to them now that he has a turn to try to defend.
Tough call for him because, as you said, the d4 pawn, which I wasn't even looking at it first, but then I noticed it while you were speaking, both pawns in the center are vulnerable, and that's the danger of playing these kind of gambits. He regained the material, but he hasn't completed his development. The king is in the center, can't castle kingside because two pieces are in the way, so Mr.Beast needs to be careful right in this moment, otherwise the center will not be there anymore.
Yeah, difficult decision to take. If he finds the pawn push to e5, I think he will have good chances to get out of this without losing anything, because that would attack the knight, gives him a momentum. And right on call, e5. Wow, well played.
Wow, good eye by you, Anna, and Mr.Beast. He's not listening in, but he.
I don't think he's listening. Hello, Jimmy, by the way, in case you're listening.
Wow. And, he is a philanthropic guy, but he did not want to give his central pawns. And, oh, look at that move, knight to d5. A good choice by Harry. But, Anna, I'm a little nervous because after that move right there, we could see a minor piece blunder.
Yes, Harry needs to realize that the bishop on b4 is hanging. So before he takes the knight on d5, he should have captured on d2 with a check.
Let's
now
go.
The bishop is gone.
I think we're good.
Go.
I don't think there's any voodoo witchcraft he could do to screw me over. So he's got to move his rook.
No voodoo witchcraft has happened indeed.
So what do we do?
There's also this move, queen h4 check, which is a very sneaky move if Harry had played that, because the point of queen h4 is that your king's in check and you don't want to move your king, so you block it. But when you block the check, in comes the queen to e4 with a check on not just the king, but the rook in the corner. So that would be an interesting tactic if Harry is allowed it.
Yeah, that would have been a beautiful, maybe a way to even turn the tables fully, kind of variation, but very difficult to see at the same time since the rook was hanging. Harry realized that the rook is attacked, so he moved it. He still has, I think, good chances to punch back because that queen h4 check is still in the air and the e5 pin in case he manages to push f6 and exploit that the white king is still in the middle of the board.
And it's about time that Mr. Beast starts developing because knight f3 stops the check on h4 and gets that king one step closer to being out of the center once the bishop develops to e2 or to d3. So a knight f3 looks like a very good move, but Jimmy's trying to figure it out.
Let's see. Well, I guess I can see it from here. I was going to say if he's talking through his thought process. Sometimes he does. Jimmy is not streaming, but he does have his voice also on. He hasn't muted himself on the call just so that we can hear him. But he's super focused right now and very silent. There's no more banter. He knows that this position still is tricky until he gets his king out of the way.
I have to say this is maybe the quickest I've seen Harry play because he's up over a minute on the clock and usually he's behind. So that's the good news for him. The bad news is he's down a minor piece.
Down a minor piece, but currently attacking the bishop on b4, to which Mr. Beast will need to react, meaning that he's still not castling. He's still a couple of moves away from getting the king out of danger.
Mm-hmm. And Harry, as per usual, quite silent, for a guy who's not just speaking, but freestyle rapping all the time on his streams and for his content. He's always so quiet when he's playing chess.
I think we have seen these two very different approaches by PogChamps participants. Some of them are obviously full-on content creators and streamers, and they want to make sure that they entertain their audience. And sometimes it also helps them with their thought process that they are thinking out loud. For Harry, I think it's the opposite. He feels more confident that he can sit in silence and think through everything without having to explain his thoughts.
Oh, his thoughts are good right now. Bishop g4, a very useful move, pinning that knight on f3 because the knight moves the queen on d1 is lost. So that's a very good move by Harry, developing, attacking, putting pressure in the center, that d4 pawn in particular. And depending on how Mr. Beast responds, it could actually get quite questionable for him. And he made the move h3, and that's...
And just slam everything on his king and just overload him.
That sounds like a plan to me, Jimmy.
That's the game plan.
In true Mr. Beast style. All aggressive, wants to push his pawns forward. So we'll see if he makes the move g4 now. No, he refrains. He plays bishop d3, great move. But just a moment ago to give everybody an inkling as to why that bar dropped so much. If Harry had taken on f3, if the queen takes on f3, it loses sight of the d4 pawn. And once d4 goes down, next e5 will fall. So unfortunately for Harry, there's a missed opportunity involving these central pawns where they would have just been off the board.
And it would have given him a lot of compensation for the piece that is missing from the board. Instead, he dropped the bishop back to f5, and Mr. Beast is offering a trade of bishops. Good developing move, and he's about to castle. I'm predicting castle queenside. No, not at all. Not with this move. And especially since he mentioned he wants to go aggressive with the attack on the king side, I am certainly thinking that his intention is castle queen side so that then he can go all in on the attack.
Oh, that's a good idea. Get his king away from where he wants to attack. And f6, good move by Harry. I know Ben Feingold, wherever he is very upset about this move, but that pawn is pinned because the king is still in the center. So f6 threatens to win a pawn on e5. That's a good choice by Harry.
I think Mr. Beast was also commenting on this move, but he may not continue that thought. Very focused. Harry also said a word or two.
Yeah, these players are not the most talkative of the bunch that we typically see on these PogChamps streams. And wow, they're really concentrating deeply here. I like the way Harry played that move f6. Mr. Beast playing really well after securing that piece, saw the tactics, and now it's a matter of which direction his king will go. Just silence from Harry.
He knew that we are switching here to listen in. He was talking earlier.
That's pretty much the only sound we hear is when a move is made, you can hear the pieces go to the squares, the Chess.com sounds.
And castle queenside indeed by Mr.Beast, going for the opposite side castling plan and attack on the king side.
Mm-hmm. And Harry's trying to, looks like, take that pawn in the center. Will he let it go? That's always the question. When they're hovering, there it is. So he takes the pawn. Good decision by him. And if Mr. Beast isn't careful and allows that pawn one square forward,
oh, that's
a baby fork, right?
Damn.
That is a baby fork.
I'm fucking up, man.
Yeah, he's doing fine. And he's doing well on the clock. That's the best. I think that's the most important thing right now
Bishop
for
over
Harry with the
E3.
black
It's not really
pieces.
doing much.
Oh, and there's Mr. Beast. He's saying a little something. And then, of course, he goes back to silence.
I guess I just take it. Sure. We'll hit him with probably. Actually, we'll just do that. I mean, I'm technically up 2 pieces, so I don't mind trading rooks and just trading a bunch.
Uh-oh. Big mistake there, because this pawn can become one step further and go with the fork of the queen and the knight. Oh my gosh.
The baby fork you mentioned, Robert, originally Mr. Beast wanted to take the pawn, but then he decided I could just offer a rook trade. So he's counting on black capturing the pawn on d4 and not advancing the pawn. That's what he missed.
Right, because if you take, so I was about to grab the piece and show everybody, that is what Harry did. He takes rather than pushes, and it's tempting to capture pieces when you can, but it's not always the best thing to do.
Well, that was a missed chance by Harry to win the piece back. He captured the pawn, and this is what Mr. Beast expected. That's the reason why he played the rook move to trade.
Mm-hmm. And when you're ahead, you want to trade. So it was a good mindset by Beast. But for Jimmy, he needs to be a little bit more careful, because if that pawn had pushed rather than captured, he would have regretted his choice. But right now, piece for just one pawn. And Harry needs to know when you're down material, you don't trade. So taking on d4 would not be good. And while he pushes his pawn, it looks like, instead, you want to avoid the trades as best you can.
It seems he's trying to free his rook or place the knight on b4. The combination of those thoughts are good, but it gave a chance to Mr. Beast to trade the knights as well. And Robert, that's what you said. When you're down on material, the simplification of the position doesn't help the person with less pieces. The more trades, the better it is for Mr. Beast in this case.
Yes, and Harry took with the pawn, which does defend his pawn on d5, and that way the queen isn't stuck defending it, but now he has double pawn, so it's kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. And Mr. Beast is up a bishop. The bishop is in a weird spot. I mean, we don't see a bishop on a3 very often, Anna, but if he notes that the bishop hits the f8 square all the way across the board, he can line up some checkmating attacks by bringing his rook to the f-file.
Yes, I wonder if that's the square he will be looking at, because I'm pretty sure he wants to get that rook into the game, and there aren't too many other squares available. Rook e1 would be a big blunder to attack the queen, but that square is not guarded.
Yeah, I don't see Jimmy making a mistake like that. He's playing too well, and he's become too strong of a player. But rook e1 tempting because the queen is in that line, but unfortunately the square is not defended. So rook f1, trying to aim for the open f-file. And don't forget about that bishop. It may be out of the picture for now, but it still does its part, and that can be a deadly threat.
Let's see if that's what Jimmy will go for, or will he stick to his original idea of pushing the pawns up the board?
There's nothing protecting it there. It's kind of annoying. We'll do this.
Well, there he goes. Great move.
Man, I wish there was less time. I wish it was more like grueling, having to make quick moves. Because he might, with this as much time as he has, be able to think of something that just like kind of screws me over.
I wonder if that means he doesn't realize just how good his position is, or if he just has that much respect for Harry, because he's up a piece and making all the best moves, and he's in charge here.
He is in charge. I think his confidence has been shaken a little bit by some of the previous games. He was saying he can only beat Ludwig, which is not the case. He has been playing really good chess, and even in the matches that he lost, he had chances. So I think it's sometimes that shaken confidence, some bad results can make you believe that even if you're up material, it's not over, which no one should be overconfident. But I think Jimmy should be a bit less concerned. He's playing great chess. And for Harry, it's so difficult to even find a counter chance. Right now, he needs to deal with the threat of rook f8 check, which would win his queen.
That's right. The bishop, as we've been mentioning, covers the square, so the queen would have to take it, and the bishop would steal that queen off the board. So for Harry, I could see him making a move like pawn h6 just to give his king some space, but let's see what he's thinking here. Oh. All right.
Great choice stepping out of the back rank and activating the queen.
Mm-hmm. Actually, it's just a great move, right? Maybe the best move on the board.
And if Mr.Beast wants to activate further his bishop, then that b2 square could become a future target with a rook on b8.
That's a good call. And the rook can also come to e8, line it up with the queen to create some potential back rank problems for the king on c1. So with king safety being the most important thing and Mr.Beast getting in some time trouble, the game certainly is not over, even though I think Mr.Beast should be able to put this one away.
Checkmating me.
Checkmate? Where is the checkmate? We want to see it, Jimmy. Are you looking for something for you or for your opponent?
I think he's worried about getting checkmated.
Might be the case. Although I would love to see a queen to f3 move, lining up the queen and the
I just want to trade queens.
Oh,
that would
that
be
also makes
great.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
you're ahead.
And this would threaten checkmate too. So I think he has to trade. Yeah, I mean, I think he has to trade or it's checkmate, right?
That is correct. That is correct with that heavy stack on the f5. He was threatening queen
Never mind.
f8.
Oh well, I'll take it though. I was thinking if I put
Showing
my
that.
rook on f8, but I'm dumb.
Just showing that
If he
checkmate.
moved
that
his
with-
rook, it'd be checkmate.
And Harry made space for the king. So h6 is a very good move because now the king can escape to h7. So even if the rook were not on a8, rook f8 is not checkmate immediately. So good decision there by Harry, I'd say.
Yes, great thinking by both players. And Mr.Beast, even if the queens are traded, this is something he wanted. So as he said, he either will get a queen trade or he has a checkmate threat. So he was forcing Harry to get the queens off of the board. And that's something that he wants, Mr.Beast, with the extra piece. And his endgame skills, Robert, if you have been following the games, Mr.Beast was one of the most accurate and impressive when it comes to endgame technique. I even had to ask him, like, Jimmy, is it the Dvoretsky endgame manual that Ludwig has never read but owns? Or do you watch videos? Where does it come from? Where does all the technique and skill come from for endgames? He just finds it easier when there are less pieces, but it's still incredibly difficult for a lot of players, including higher rated players than him, to understand endgames to such extent and play precisely.
No, you're absolutely right. I did see those games, and there's a big mistake by Harry because c5 can be taken by the bishop, d5 can be taken by the rook. So I understand the inclination. You want to push forward, you want to do something, but unfortunately for Harry, now this makes Jimmy's life much easier. But to your point earlier, Anna, I did see those end games. A very good technique by Jimmy. He seems to know what to do. It's not going to be perfect, but he has the right mindset when it comes to the end game of bringing the king up like he just did with king to d2 to start.
Yes, and that's very important to activate the king in endgames. It's something that a lot of beginners would fail to do, since for most of the game, the opening and middle game phase, we are just trying to protect that king, hide it behind the pawns. And in the endgame, it's quite the contrary. It should become a very active and attacking piece. That is a key moment, I think, for that reason too. Will Jimmy continue?
I don't even think I
capturing the
care if
pawns
he
in the
does,
queen side?
to be honest. Right?
The check, I'm guessing he's talking about on
Actually,
f2.
we'll just do this anyways.
You could
Oh,
take
wait,
c5 with the bishop, and then we could have a box Harry Max scenario.
Oh no, poor Harry. He was doing so well against Box.
I know.
All right. I'm getting low on time. I think I have it in the bag. I just need to not run out of time.
It's really Mr.Beast kryptonite is the clock. And it's
At
kind
the
of funny.
same time, he loves his bullet chess, so I think he doesn't get that nervous.
I was about to say that. It's funny because he's always playing bullet chess, and yet, he's the one down on clock and gets a little bit rattled when he's down there. And Rook F2, great move by Harry.
Don't actually.
Will Mr. Beast come back with the rook or just
I
start
think it's
capturing on the
fine.
queen
I just
side?
trade with him, right?
So he takes a pawn. Harry now takes the G2 pawn, and it might become a pawn
Probably
race.
this one?
Yes, White has the extra bishop, but if Rook G3 check is now played, Anna, then
Probably
the
gonna
pawn
put
on
me in
H3
check.
will be taken, and it's a true race.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Mr. Beast is expecting. So he saw that by allowing the capture of his G2 pawn, this is coming, that both players will be capturing all pawns possible and start
Fine.
running with the passed pawns.
And you know what's funny? You almost don't want that bishop on A3 because it's blocking your pawn's path. You want to just push the pawn A4 and move the rook.
I guess
and just push it
probably
up the
shouldn't have
board.
blocked my bishop then. That was dumb. But
And-
luckily I have a big lead, so I think I'm good. Yes.
Oh, that rook trade is not exactly what
All
Harry was supposed to do.
No, that made life much easier for Mr. Beast, and he quickly retreats the king. He'll move his bishop. He mentioned how his king move previously blocked the bishop, and then his A pawn will just scurry up the board and net him the full point.
And he's moving in the right direction just in case the black king makes it to the H3 pawn. He's going toward the only chance of black, the king side pawns.
Mm-hmm. So he's doing the right thing. He can even bring his king to G4, stop the pawns in their tracks, and eventually bring the bishop in to help him win pawns. And yeah, this is, as long as he didn't pre-move. Oh! Oh my God.
Partially causing a bit of a heart attack, but now he captures the pawn. Whew.
That was stupid. All right. What are we doing? What are we doing?
You know, Anna, there's a strange possibility of stalemate if Mr. Beast just pushes the H pawn up the board with the king, and you get stalemated in the corner if you're not careful. But yeah, he's probably not going to make that mistake.
Well, we shall see. He's moving the bishop away so that Harry's pawn can move. And will he then start pushing the H pawn or the queen side pawns? He has plenty of good moves here.
Thankfully, it's one of those ones where I get extra time every move, so I'm not really in a rush. He probably could trap my bishop somehow. I don't know. All right, I'll push the pawn. Be free. Okay, we'll just take his pawn.
He gave emotional support to that H
I
pawn.
someone just tell them to move quick so we don't have to drag this one out.
What's impressive is not just that Mr. Beast finds these moves. Obviously, he's up a piece, so there are a couple of ways in which White can win, but the confidence with which he's so sure that you just use that H pass pawn as a magnet, you draw the opponent's king toward that pawn, and then you win on the other flank. You don't need to promote that H pawn.
That's absolutely right. As a decoy and as your magnet, the king when grabbed it. Now look at all these 3 pass pawns and a bishop. Should be an easy finish here for Mr. Beast.
But as you said, Robert, it could still be stalemate if there's a misstep.
It could be. I mean, look at this. If the king goes into the corner on A8 and then the pawn goes to C6, that would be stalemate.
And Harry's heading toward the corner.
He goes to the corner. That would just be a brilliant try. That's unfortunately the wrong way. Should have went to A8.
You chose the more active move, but unfortunately activity doesn't help for stalemate.
But if king goes to A6 and the king goes to B4, but he's not, Mr. Beast is not going to do that, that would also be a stalemate.
It's true that this is a potential stalemate if the king moves. What will it be a pawn
Am I
push or
supposed
the
to
king
resign?
move? Bishop?
Someone tell me. Chess.com, tell me. Or are we supposed to play this out to the
Wait.
bitter end?
He actually has a chance here. Because if he brings the king to C8 in front of the pawn, the white king can't go to C6.
Indeed, it could still be stalemate. King C8, king C6 is stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
Will Mr. Beast do it, or does he see that he shouldn't play it?
Oh my gosh! Oh,
All right, he employed the strategy of boring me to death and then gave me a stalemate, and he got it. I honestly did not feel like thinking anymore. I was kind of over it. These long 10-minute games of just 500 moves. I wish there was a way you could just like subtract time and make them faster.
Wow.
Well, it worked out. This is what we were talking about, the last chance of Harry, and he got it.
I can't believe it. He brought the king in front of the pawn. Mr. Beast was doing all of the right things. But as he said it himself, I wish that it weren't dragged out so much that we just had a rush, because he probably would have won under those circumstances. I am in disbelief, Anna.
This was a game that was dominated by Mr. Beast, and yet Harry's resilience and continuing the game, even though he felt like he should have resigned, it paid out. It managed to get him half a point, meaning that we are going into the second game with a match that is tied.
Wow. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we return, we'll get to the second half of this match between Mr. Beast and Harry Mack.
Think about moves. Noted. Oh, man. Oh, the Chess.com analysis was wild in real time. What were they saying? Next time, try to win. Yes, for sure. Epic draw. You did great. Now you're warmed up. Appreciate it. Yes, very excited. My Harry, thank you. I understand you're quite a chess master yourself. You got to think about what the opponent will do sometimes. Yes, I am trying to do that, believe it or not. It might not look like it, but yes, I am attempting to anticipate what the opponent might do. Shout out to Apple Slices. We got the stalemate play. Mr. Beast said you used the method to bore him to death at the end. Yeah, my bad. Okay. Oh, I'm on chess.com. We here. Chess.com. H-Mac, I'm coming through to bless this song. Y'all know I spit the lyrics that are raw. I bored Mr. Beast to death and got the draw. For real. Oops, what happened to my chat? Commercial at the moment. Yo. That was epic. Wow. Can't believe I'm playing somebody so famous. This is incredible.
Mental health is a serious topic, and I'm here to tell you that it's absolutely okay to talk about it. Many people over the course of their life will struggle with something. For me personally, it's always been different types of anxieties. And I know that I can be kind of prone to bottling it all up. I don't feel like I want to bother those around me with it, so I just try to overcome it by myself. But I have found that it's better to confide in my loved ones or my friends, or in therapy. But one of the major barriers to therapy is the cost, and so today we are raising money for Rise Above the Disorder, or RAD, for 100,000 therapy sessions. Just a $30 donation will support therapy for 1 week. So do me a favor, reach out, talk to somebody. You're not alone in this, we're all going through this together, and we can overcome it.
Mental health access and affordability near and dear to our hearts. We want to thank Gotham Chess Levy for that statement and appreciate all the generous support we've had thus far. In game one of this consolation bracket match between Harry Mack and Mr.Beast, it was a miraculous stalemate. The freestyle rapper survives. Mr.Beast, living up to his reputation as being incredibly charitable, because he allowed Harry to end that game with a half point.
Indeed, we were talking about the excellent endgame skills of Mr.Beast, and it was true all the way until he was this close to conversion. But as he himself said, he was bored. He wanted to just finish the game. And Harry kept going, kept playing, and earned that stalemate. So it's half a point for both players.
And we are in game two here. D4 by Harry, D5 by Mr.Beast. Harry on the clock. And well, he's trying to figure out where to move, which is a little disconcerting. can't deny it.
Tell us about that prep. Tell us about those screen captures, Robert.
I sent him a bunch of screen captures. It seems that he's trying to remember what to do. And that's what happens with newer players. Like, memorizing openings is not a typical thing. It's not like he's been playing much chess. This is his first month of chess. But it was trying to contain the beast, because Mr.Beast loves to sacrifice material. I just want to get him a solid opening.
This is very solid indeed. And I'm wondering if Harry will follow up with a bishop development or push his e-pawn to get the f1 bishop out.
I won't give away anything, but I really hope he leads with his bishop first before pushing that e-pawn.
I see. Smells like London.
Yeah, well, I'm personally in New York, but yes, the London is on top of mind.
He's choosing between the f4 and g5 squares, it seems.
All right.
And goes with the knight in the end.
Yes, he chose knight c3, which is a perfectly fine move. He's just trying to figure it out. And then just pure silence.
I wonder if Mr.Beast will find a way to spice things up, or will he go for just a more solid approach? Plays bishop to f5, good developing move.
Yeah, so far, a great play by Mr.Beast.
And that reminded Harry of a very same pattern, moving the bishop out to f4, if he ends up choosing that square.
And he's about to drop it. There it goes. He drops an f4. So it's a London system. And of course, Mr.Beast directly going for an attack. And this is something that's not easy to spot if you're new to this. You might play a3, get that knight out of there, but then you'd be welcoming the knight to the c2 square. So hopefully Harry has his eyes on that pawn and
critical moment. Shall we check in with his stream? He already chose a move, though. I was wondering which pawn or piece he was going to click on. He chooses e4. Interesting way to block the bishop.
That's a Mr.Beast style move, right? Like a pawn sacrifice in the center, just mixing up the state of affairs here. And I think that's going to cause Mr.Beast to settle in for a think.
Super focused by Harry, and the creative move, a pawn sacrifice with this pawn push. Will Mr.Beast take it with the pawn or with the bishop?
It's one of these moments where, because Mr.Beast is a sacrificial player and plays similar things from the white side, it can be hard to play against it from the black side, but he takes with the pawn, which is great. And bishop b5 check. I understand the impulse, but Anna, That is a move with repercussions here.
Let's see how Mr. Beast will react to that check. I'm guessing a pawn push because that would chase the bishop back. And at the same time, the knight is still hanging. So 2 minor pieces will be in the air if Jimmy finds that pawn push.
Yes, and seems like he's thinking, trying to figure it out.
Yeah, I guess we just do that. I don't know.
Very good move.
So he's probably going to bring his knight up to e5. Right? Or I'm confused. So I got 2 of his pieces in my crosshairs.
He's just taken away.
And unfortunately for Harry, it's also still that knight fork on c2, not just the knight that has
And
been
I
captured.
still have the fork with the knight.
Indeed.
So I think I just hit him with it. He probably won't take with his queen. No, he won't. So I'll just take his knight. Or sorry, rook.
I think what I see on Harry's stream that he is trying to castle out of the check. It would be great if it was allowed.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm actually not sure we went over that. When we started the coaching, he was really brand new to chess, like a complete beginner, knew how the pieces moved.
Oh wait,
and that was it. So I'm not sure we went over. You can't castle when you're in check.
Yeah, he tried, but in the end, he goes for what he didn't want to go for when he was freestyling about the bonk cloud, a delayed bonk cloud it is.
Yeah, so now Mr. Beast ahead on the clock and huge advantage on the board up a rook, white's king in the center, and no stalemates this time, right, Anna?
No stalemates, and he can capture even more
guys.
material if he takes on d4. And he sees it. Both bishops are hanging now. Let's check back with Mr. Beast in case he can get his thoughts too.
I feel kind of bad. Unless he somehow just like takes my queen and I take it back.
What is it that he feels bad about? Winning chess games?
It seems he feels bad about dominating the match, but he didn't feel that bad about Harry getting the
correct
stalemate.
move
He
here
was
for him?
upset.
Does he? I don't actually think there's a way he can guard both his bishops, right?
He's correct.
I don't see an attack on my king. I think it's just very unfortunate for him. I think we just take this.
Well, it seems like Mr. Beast is spawning all the tactics. He saw both bishops were hanging, but I like that he double checked. Instead of just immediately capturing the bishop on f4, he's like, is there something against my king? Is there some tactic here? He realized there wasn't. Off goes the bishop.
Yeah, and he's feeling sorry for Harry because it literally is that after that knight was lost on f3, everything just fell apart. One after the other, more and more pieces were captured. So in that sense, it really is unfortunate that Harry missed that moment when he gave a check with the bishop and two of his minor pieces were hanging. And ever since, Mr. Beast kept capturing one piece after the other, full on force. He just needs to bring out the rest of his pieces because he was really good at capturing everything that was there to pick up. But that king side still needs to be developed.
That's right. And if Harry makes a move like knight b5 at some point, do not take that piece, right? He's taken enough pieces, but that's the thing. The king in the center, you could get checkmated if you're not careful, because all of these pieces, the bishop, the knight, and the rook, have not activated themselves yet. So knight f6 to start with seems to be the best way, and then Harry will have to resort to tricks.
A very good point that knight b5 would be a poisonous move. That knight should not be taken if the king is still there on e8. But I wonder if Jimmy will now go for the knight jump, or maybe a pawn push to try to get the f8 bishop out, but he certainly needs developing moves now.
That's right. And it could be tempting to make him like pawn to b5 to attack the bishop, but that walks in to the problems, and that's a pretty good move, rook to d8.
Simplifying the position. He has been religiously sticking to, let's simplify if I'm ahead on material, and he likes his endgames too. So I think in both senses, it is what has been working very well for him.
Right. And rook e1, look at Harry saying, I'm down material, I shouldn't trade. But there's an impending checkmate if Mr. Beast can find it.
Damn, man. Not many prospects here, my friends. I'm down a lot of material. Has it ever been done? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What a move by Mr. B, setting up the mate, not letting the king go to f1.
So rook d2 or queen d2, both would be checkmate.
Will Harry see it?
Oh, I like that he was thinking about knight b5. Now it's up to Mr. Beast. Will he find it? There it is.
Damn. There you have it, my friends. Weak. Worst game I played in the whole thing, man. Worst game I played in the whole thing. Shout out to Mr. Beast, though. Damn. Well, y'all, I'm sorry.
The players
He
never
should
need to
not be
apologize.
sorry, though. He played really well, way above his level, but Mr. Beast has been dominating this match, and this could be the play of the game. What do you think, Robert? Our eternal play of the game choice?
Oh, it has to be this game, of course, game one, and it's stalemate. But if we scroll back a bit as the play of the game presented by eternal.gg, I think it came when Harry went bishop f4, knight to b4. It just rattled Harry because he's not used to this opening. It was the first time he played d4, and it's a really big threat here on c2. So e4 sort of evidences that Harry saw the threat, but rook to c1, a calm move, not easy to play if you're new to the position. So, and after e4, it seemed like Mr. Beast just took everything he could find.
He did. He took one piece after the other. I certainly agree with you that after knight b4, it was all in Mr. Beast's hand to cash in and convert this match. He is moving on to the semifinals. And if you agree with us or not, make sure to let us know. You need to just connect your Twitch account on eternal.gg and type eternal in the chat every time you believe that that's a moment to eternalize. We're going to choose 3 lucky winners per match. So make sure to use eternal in the chat as many times as you think that is a clippable, eternalizable moment in your opinion, and you can win some of the PogChamps special edition packs. Also, it's possible to buy them, but you need to be quick because they are running low on stock. There's only 3,000 available. That was the original number. I think we are down to 10%, and it all goes for charity, all the proceeds.
Well, people can collect them as they wish. They should sign up with eternal.gg. But for now, we have to say GG to Harry Mack. Bring him and Mr. Beast on for an interview, and we'll be back in a few to hear their thoughts. And we return with both Mr. Beast and Harry Mack. Jimmy, congrats. That was another great performance, even if the first game didn't end the way you wanted it to.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, we were talking before we went live, and now we got to repeat everything we just talked about 5 seconds ago. The director, whatever, came in. He's like, guys, shut up. Wait till you're live to talk about this. It was funny. But yeah, no, it was good. I was telling them that like I just kind of got into a lull where I was like, yeah, I got like 5 extra pieces. I'll just move them and it'll work itself out. And then the stalemate popped up, and I was like, well, probably why you shouldn't do that.
Harry, how did it feel when you suddenly saw on your screen that you saved the game?
You know what? To be honest, I was as surprised as anybody. I think I was just moving my pieces around. On my stream, I was asking like, yo, am I supposed to resign? Like, is that what's supposed to happen? I was like, Chess.com, let me know if I'm just wasting everybody's time right now. So yeah, that was cool, man. I was surprised and happy that I didn't take the L there.
No, you did not. You saved a half point. You can't save games that you resign. So it's good to keep fighting when you can. And Jimmy, on your end, you're moving on in the consolation bracket. How are you feeling? You did start the tournament off with a bang with Mr.Beast Immortal by beating Ludwig. How are you feeling? Are you feeling ready to take down this bracket?
Yeah. Who's next? Who do I play next?
I believe you're playing Tectone next.
Right.
And he's got a great Pokemon shirt. Prepare for that.
Okay. What's his rating?
About 500-600, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to say you should be the favorite, but he does love his hippo. I can tell you that. He plays the hippopotamus religiously with both colors. You need to look up that opening.
Yeah, I was
I'm not saying any secrets. He has been playing it every game. Tectone, if you're listening. Hello.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. It'll be fun. And yeah, this all around. I was telling him also off camera, like last PogChamps, I think I only won like 1 out of 10 games or something stupid like that. And so it's kind of just like tradition. You just like you lose a bunch of first time and then you play, and then the next time you win a few. And then I'm hoping next time I can win even more, and we just keep adding a better win rate each PogChamps.
Yeah.
It's true. It does need some experience to play here. Ludwig is here for the 3rd time, and yet you almost took him down.
Exactly.
Yeah, Harry, how are you feeling about the chess? I mean, I know the results haven't gone your way, and you and I have talked, but how are you feeling after the elimination here?
You know what, man? Honestly, I'm excited to continue on my chess journey. Like, I actually like chess, you know, and I didn't know that was going to be the case. Like, I signed up for this because I've always wanted to learn, and so, you know, I was kind of like thrown right into the ring. And, you know, even though I didn't win any games, it's been dope, man. And I'm excited to continue playing. So maybe if I'm lucky enough to be invited back to the next PogChamps, I can show some true growth.
See, now everyone next PogChamps will underestimate you, and then you'll just slap them, right?
That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going. Set some low expectations. Yeah, this is all long game, man. I'm thinking many moves ahead.
It would be hilarious if it really was long game.
Before we send you both off, can we do something fun? Harry, if you're cool with it, can each of us give you one word and you do an Omegle bar style freestyle rap? Jimmy, you good with that?
Oh, of course I'm good.
You already know. Let me get a beat ready here.
I got my word. First
you got your word?
Yeah, Voss.
Okay.
All right.
I have to think
I'm
about
ready.
my one.
I'm ready. Here we go.
Oh.
Oops, I got the beat ready. Okay, what are the words? What are the words? Sorry, I missed it. What was it, Jimmy?
Voss.
Voss?
Yep.
Does it need to be one word or can it be 2, 3?
It could be like a compound hyphenated word situation, you know?
I'm going to go with stalemate. The immortal stalemate.
Yes, very relevant.
I'm going to go with epiphany.
Epiphany. Voss, stalemate, and epiphany. We ready?
We didn't give you much to work with. Good luck. I'm going to pop out so I can watch it on the stream.
Yo.
Good luck for the rest, Jimmy.
Yo, come on, hey, come on, hey, come on. Listen. Every time I freestyle, I'm a lyrical boss. Hey, all these rappers fragile, just like a vase. Listen, when I do my thing, I'm putting rhymes in your face. Hold up, is it said vase or is it pronounced vase? H-Mag, when I'm on it, man, I'm holding it down. The king in this thing, I'm about to get the gold in this crown. I make it happen, and y'all know rappers increasing the fail rate. Can't believe I saved the game, clutching the stalemate. Hey, yo, Mac, I'ma make it happen properly. Known for putting all of these words together logically. Hey, yo, y'all know that every rap's the joint. I saved the day, I came through and got half a point. Yeah, and y'all know that each year we gon' improve. I'm playing the long game. First PogChamps, I lose. Next time around, I'll be underestimated. Then I'm about to slap them, man. They couldn't test the greatness. Can't get rid of me. I spit it free exquisitely. They having brilliant ideas. I'm spitting them epiphanies. Mac off the top of the dome. Every time I freestyle on PogChamps, I'm a lock in the zone. Yeah, we gon' make it happen. I'm coming for the award. First time I played chess was for PogChamps 4. Yeah, yo, Hess, you a good coach. I can't front. You got me up to speed for only playing chess for 1 month. Yeah, we still in it. My bars, they infinite. When it comes to kicking raps, man, I never been timid. I told you we've been having them epiphanies, and it's an honor to have played against Mr.Beast. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely epic. Thank you so much, Harry. You have gained so many fans in the chess community, and your opponents too have become your fans. I have seen each and every one of them tuning into your streams ever since they played against you.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. Well, no, man, it's an absolute honor to be a part of this competition. I'm going to up my chess game for next year, so I'm coming for y'all. Let's go.
See you at PogChamps 5, and we're going to continue watching your freestyles. In the meantime, this has been a blast.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Take care.
Talk soon, man.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Absolutely epic. And what's also epic is that each and every one of you can get $5 in Bitcoin for free. That is thanks to our sponsor, Coinbase. PogChamps 4 is presented by Coinbase, and whether you're looking to make your first crypto purchase or if you are already an experienced trader, Coinbase is the place to go to. All you need to do is register and verify that you are an actual human being, and you get your $5 in Bitcoin to start with. That is an excellent opportunity to get acquainted with cryptocurrency.
Yes, indeed. It's a good thing to do. And well, we are going to have to go on a short break, because when we return, we'll have the third match of the day between I Am Cristinini and Fundy in the championship bracket. You will not want to miss that match.
PogChamps 4 is presented by Coinbase. Whether you're looking to make your first crypto purchase or you're an experienced trader, Coinbase has you covered. Earn crypto by learning about crypto with Coinbase Earn. Power up your trading with Coinbase's advanced features, get exclusive rewards when you spend with Coinbase Card, and much more. Learn more at coinbase.com/chess.
And we return ready for this matchup between Fundy and Chris. And Anna, you've worked with Chris. Is she ready for Fundy as the top-rated player, the player that all the other competitors think is the favorite?
I think she's ready. It's true that Fundy, we consider him as one of the favorites for winning the overall tournament. And Chris has only been studying chess for a month, but she is the player, as you highlighted, Robert, who has improved the most. She has done an incredible progress, starting from just what you said, knowing how the pieces move. And with every single coaching session and with every single match in her group stage, she kept becoming a more and more formidable player, to such an extent that she knocked out Rubius of the championship bracket. That was the last match of the group stage. And we have an E4 start already. I don't have more time for introing this match. Let's see how the opening will turn out, E4, E5.
Well, so far normal, but let's see what Chris is thinking, because she's on the black side.
Con este lo defiendo. Vale, vale. Desarrollamos igual.
She's just talking about developing the
Vale,
knight
¿qué
just
quieres
like
con
I did.
esto? Sacar igual los dos alfiles. Vale, esto...
What do you want here?
No,
What
está
is
aquí
that
bloqueado.
bishop
Igual
move
saco
4? So
yo
she's already
también
looking
el
at the
mío
F7
y me
square.
enroco.
She's
Porque
saying
si
she
lo
could
saco,
develop her bishop
claro,
too
de
and
momento
castle.
no me puedo
Very
hacer. Lo voy
good
a sacar
thinking,
el dama.
Chris.
O podemos ir a atacar ya,
That's a good
espérate.
idea.
Porque si saco este, pam, pam, pam. Intercambio de piezas y yo pierdo un peón. Él tiene este defendido. No, no voy a hacer lo mismo.
She's calculating a few
enrocarme ya.
things with the captures, but in the end goes for bishop c5, and she's saying that she wants to castle. And she is one of those players in PogChamps that you hear the exact same thought process that we teach, but it's not so easy to apply what we teach when your opponent makes a move. Question what is the idea of that move? Are they threatening something? Do I need to react to that threat if it's a real threat? And it's something that we try really hard as coaches to make our students understand how important it can be for a game, but it's extremely difficult to do it at every turn. Yet she does it. I'm very impressed how she always sticks to that thought process.
And we saw that moment with the bishop pointing at the F7 square. She was, what does Fundy want? How can I deal with it? And if we just scroll back quickly, the point was after bishop c5, if knight g5 was played to gang up on that pawn on f7, she realized she could castle. And if knight takes f7, rook takes, bishop takes, king takes, this is a known imbalance here where black gets two minor pieces for rook and pawn, but it's very good for black, as you can see on the evaluation bar, because though the king is out, not enough white pieces to attack that king, and then black will have the extra material. So that didn't happen. Of course, Fundy too strong to go for that. His rating nearly 1,300. He is improving during the tournament. We're just not even noticing because he was already one of the favorites.
He was already 1200 rated, approximately 1200 or just below 1200. And now, as we can see, gaining rating, and it's always Christmas for Fundy. We have learned about that too.
Yeah, I want to hear him speak some Dutch, because if Chris is going to be speaking in Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, I also want to hear some Dutch because I don't get that either.
I'm hoping I don't need to translate Dutch because I have no clue, but knight d5. Now Chris is analyzing the capture. I don't want him to come to this square. She's pointing at c7 in case in the future there will be a capture. So she's trying to simplify the position and get rid of that dangerous knight.
Her reflexes are great.
Vamos a ir tirando. Vale, otra opción es sacarlo aquí, incluso. Otra opción es sacarlo aquí.
And now she's thinking of bishop e6. So she's considering whether bishop g4 or bishop e6 is a better development. And both of them make a lot of sense.
Tiene apenas movilidad, con lo cual solo tiene una en el tablero, cuando yo aquí tengo tres. Bueno, no sé que saque.
She's saying that white only has in reality one active piece, the d5 bishop, and everything else. She's ahead in development. She's right.
Dejársela ahí, quieta.
Wow. I don't understand the words, but her arrow and where she's bringing the mouse, I see, and she's doing everything correctly. Like really just a great move, bishop g4. And on Fundy's end, c3 is a great decision because this knight wanted to jump into d4. You want to put pressure on a pinned piece, but now the pawn on c3 covers that square. So good decisions by both thus far.
Extremely important, as you said, that pawn push, and Fundy played it so quickly that also shows his level, that he spots these moves and understands the importance of those moves immediately. Let's check in with his stream and what he's saying.
Yeah, we can hear what Fundy's thoughts are because he's got the white side. He wants to make this game count.
B8. I just moved back with my bishop, right? No, I just moved back. Or I can go to a6, but then my bishop becomes kind of useless there, but then I can rotate back to c4. Do I want to lose a bishop just randomly for a knight? Yeah. So I can go d5. If they take with the knight, I take with the pawn, stack pawns, but I'm up. Or I can go a6. A6 allows b6 with their rook, but that allows me to go back to c4 attacking again. They push pawn, I take, they take, I take, they take. I don't know. I think I want to save my bishop.
Actually, a pretty big choice, Anna, because bishop a6, as Fundy was just saying, saves the bishop. But after that move, black can play f5, striking as now white's pieces are sort of off to the side on the queen side, trying to open the f file, use this pin on the knight and f3 and go for an attack. So it's a big choice by Fundy, and he didn't play bishop a6 after all. He decided to play bishop retreats to d5.
Which is the safer move to allow the trade of his bishop for the knight on e7. But at the same time, as he said, he is up a pawn, even if those pawns will be doubled on the d file.
Mm-hmm. And I think Chris, she can play f5 anyway, try to play e4 and work this pin because it may cost you some material, but white's king side will be completely compromised if you're able to force white to take with a pawn on f3. So f5, an aggressive move. Is this a type of move that Chris can play? Because oftentimes newer players, they refrain from pushing their kingside pawns.
I want to check in with her stream because I think she's about to find it. And I was going to tell you, Robert, that if she doesn't find it, it's on me because I told her that the F pawn should stay on the board where it is, glued to the board because of your king.
Soy consciente que no debería debilitar el enroque, pero es que quiero que esta ficha esté protegida, porque voy a subir esto.
She's saying exactly that I know that I shouldn't push that pawn for the safety of my king, but I want to advance in the center. She was looking at e4 earlier, and even though I taught her that for the king safety, that f pawn better stay where it normally is, she overruled the rule. That's when you know that the player is capable of more than the rating that's shown on the screen, that she she understands that she can possibly jump that rule here. This is an exception.
Wow, I'm extremely impressed. I still don't know what she's saying, but all I know is her moves are doing enough of talking for me to get that she's improving a lot.
Yo puedo capturar esto.
She's calculating e4 to capitalize on the pin.
Luego yo iría hacia aquí, evidentemente, aunque él moverá esto para que yo no pueda ir.
Wow.
This is an extremely strong move, and I was gonna tell you, Robert, that my prediction would have been that because I told her not to touch the f-pawn, she wouldn't do it. But I'm so happy that she was like, I know this is normally bad for my king, but I want to do it.
I'm so impressed. And I've just seen her games throughout when I was on vacation and PogChamps was underway. She's really doing so well. And it's great to see because this is kind of what PogChamps is all about. Players who may not even know that they enjoy chess until they start trying. And her rating is 509. You've got to be kidding me. 509s don't play like this. She has a great understanding. She's figuring it out on the fly. You've done some great coaching as well. But as I always say, when I'm working with someone, their successes are because of them. Their failures, I take the fault for. But right now,
exactly.
She's in great shape. I'm seriously.
I was going to take the fault for if there's no f5 push, it's me, because I taught her not to do it.
And I think Fundy's a bit nervous. He plays d4 because he wants to get rid of this pawn. And look at that. She's so quickly, instead of taking this pawn on d4, which removes her previous threat of pawn to e4, and you see the evaluation bar go up for white, she says, let me just retreat my bishop to b6 because the knight is still pinned. So in the event a pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, well, there's no knight takes pawn for you. You lose your queen. And now e4 is coming, whether you like it or not. This is fantastic play thus far from Chris.
I am very impressed. And also, of course, I know I'm super biased, but the fact that only a few weeks ago, one of the lessons we had was about pins because she didn't know what to pin. So she had one lesson on it and she's applying it to such extent that she's a natural and she's really good at strategic games. She said that to her, chess is just like playing jungle in League of Legends. I don't see how that is so much the same for her, but she has always loved strategic games and just thinking through a plan and carrying it out.
And she's doing a great job. And it looks like the move rook. Oh, 1 second. Let me refresh. No, I think it was capture. So I think I need to hard refresh here. My analysis change things up.
Y nos las quitamos de encima.
She is hovering over the e5
bueno, vamos
pawn,
a
which is
jugar del peón, aunque si es.
Oh
si baja con la torre,
the best move.
No nada. Yo sí le amenazo esto.
She's saying you can't do anything to me, and I am threatening your knight.
Es verdad que bloquea.
Oh my gosh.
La clava de la reina, pero da igual, no está clavada. Quiero decir, o sea, se puede mover, hacer lo que le dé la gana con ella.
You can move the queen as much as you want, but the knight is attacked.
Entonces, él realmente, yo me voy a llevar una figura, él o se lleva nada o se lleva un peón. Entonces, ahí le voy a hacer guay y aquí ya sí que podemos intercambiarnos las fichas de una forma bastante interesante. Porque entonces ya iré ganando yo. Entonces ya a mí me conviene.
She's saying that she would be up material in that case. I wonder, though, how she will react to bishop g5, because that's a good attempt by Fundy to mess things up now that the queen on d8 is hanging.
Mm-hmm. And it's getting a bit tight. She can just move her queen out the way and say that knight remains pinned. So a move like, say, queen d7 would be tempting. But the knight, just because it's pinned, doesn't mean it can't move. So queen d7, all of a sudden this knight can hop to e5, where you take white's queen, white takes black's queen with a fork. So you have to be careful in these moments because a pin, unless there's a king behind it, does not mean that the piece is unable to move.
Yeah, this is a difficult choice. And also just simply capturing on g5 would mean that you are giving up your queen for the bishop. The knight can take it, and then you take white's queen as well. But it is only a trade in a position where black was trying to win a piece.
Mm-hmm. And at the end of this, white would be up a pawn. So that would be really good news for Fundy. So it's a critical moment right now as Chris tries to figure out where the queen goes. She can play bishop takes f3, not the easiest move to make when your own queen is under attack, but you take the knight, which removes the guard of this bishop. And after the bishop takes queen, we have the same scenario for both sides, where the bishops are hanging, but black is up a bishop. So it's a forcing sequence if she's able to find it, but she's on the clock and it's not that easy to work through those complications.
Let's see where is she drawing those arrows or pointing with the mouse.
No me lo voy a pensar más. Venga, nos quitamos las damas. Es que no son... Es que es demasiadas pocas piezas, tío.
She's saying, I will not think more of it. I'm going to trade the queens. She does like to play endgame. She does like to get the queens off of the board. But I'm hoping she will think a bit more about it in case she finds the other capture.
Venga, no lo voy a vender, va.
Okay, so...
Okay, she's saying, I'm not going to sell it in the end. I'm not going to sell my queen in the end.
No quiero hacerlo de pasar piezas sin tener ventaja yo. Quiero al menos que vayamos igualados, si no, sí.
She doesn't want to just go for the trade yet. I think she likes to keep the thread there. And that's the right thought. Or seeing, obviously, that bishop takes f3 move, which was going to be winning a piece. The only downside of placing the queen on e8, that now that e4 pawn is pinned as well. So both queens are in a pin.
That's right. Although the good thing about queen e8 is making use of the fact that the pawn is no longer an f7 because the queen can jump over to g6 and help with an attack. So if this queen thinks it's just leaving the pin and all is good, like queen to c2, for example, I can't take on f3 with the pawn and lose my queen, but if I take with a bishop, the pawn has to take, and in comes that queen with a pin and a win of a piece. So queen e8 does have its merits here. I actually like the move. I think it's very practical. And for somebody who doesn't move their f-pawn ever because she was taught you shouldn't do it most of the time, that was good coaching, honestly, that now she realizes, hey, maybe, wait, is this, no.
Oh, no. She forgot about the queen.
Oh.
Just when she had it, that queen c2 move happened. That was very unfortunate, but she's still in the game, in fact, because she took a piece and the rook for the queen.
She's actually better right now.
Vale. Ok, no pasa nada.
He's saying, okay, no problem. I hope that she will bounce back because it's so difficult. Once you make a mistake of that kind to still believe that you have chances, and she does. With the pair of bishops, the rook could come to e2. There's attack against the white king, quite a strong attack there.
Yeah, there's actually rook e2 looks like a great move because rook, wow, there's some very beautiful tactics at play here, where if you go rook e2, you want to defend this f2 pawn, and rook f1 is the way to do so. But after pawn takes g2, king g2, look at this move, Anna, bishop e3. Just like, I love the way this looks because the f pawn is pinned and can't take the bishop. The bishop shouldn't take because the queen is hanging. Now, I don't think I've ever seen a tactic like this, but it is gorgeous.
It would be incredible if it happens. I'm afraid that Chris has gone for a different move, placing the bishop on g6. I think she lost the thread there a little bit, and it's just very difficult to recover from moments of blunder, but I'm hoping that she will realize that it's not over.
Wow. I mean, bishop g6 is still a reasonable move because I think Fundy will struggle to play a move like pawn takes f3. And even then, she can still play rook e2. And that move was not good because f4, Anna, the queen would be under it. She found it so quickly.
She played it immediately. That's why she plays the bishop on g6. She already had that move on her mind, and g3 made it even better for her.
Oh my gosh, just pawn takes g3. There's a pin on the diagonal, and Fundy's king, just because there's no black queen on the board does not mean that there's no attack. This king side is in shambles, and she might just go ahead and checkmate the king.
Let's check in with Chris, and if she plays it, I was gonna say, but she already took the pawn on g3. I think now the person we need to check in with is Fundy soon, if he's all right.
Espérate que la hoja que con el
like,
peón.
wait. I'm gonna take one of two. I'm not worse.
No se lo puede comer porque está el alfil. Puede
He
venir
can't
aquí.
take it because I'm pinning it to the
Bajo la
bishop.
torre. No puedo bajarlas hasta que no las tenga una encima de la otra. Necesito tenerlas
She's
una
already
encima
looking
de
at
la
the
otra.
back rank
Pero
too,
es
but
por
she's
ahí,
saying I can't go there
por
yet
ahí.
until I'm not doubled on the e-file.
Va por ahí. Va por ahí.
She's sensing that there's
Piensa
quite some
bien.
attack
¿Sabes
here for
cómo
her,
hacerlo?
even if she doesn't
Le
know
doy jaque con
exactly
el
what
peón.
moves.
¿Y si se mueve aquí? ¿qué?
She's thinking of a pawn capture with a check.
Yo puedo subir la torre igual, tengo el peón aquí. Quiero decir, subo la torre igual. Él no me la puede pillar con el rey, pero sí me la puede pillar con su torre. Me meriendo la
She
torre.
really wants to get the rookie one move in, but she needs to prepare it a bit more. I'd love to listen in with Fundy if he's talking about his thoughts, because this game is turning upside down.
Big yikes.
Checkmate in one if she sees it.
Will she see it? And does Fundy see it? Let's go back to Chris. I would like to see those arrows. Is she
Rook here,
pointing at
they
that
take the
king?
pawn. No, that's bad. I need that bishop on b6 gone somehow.
I don't think Fundy realizes that he could get checkmate right now with bishop to d3. Will Chris see it? I think she's really focused on the rookie one move. That's where she's pointing on her stream.
Oh, Fundy sees it. Yeah, he definitely sees it right now.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I should have gone to H 100%. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Will that work, Robert?
He's hugging himself. Oh, you gotta almost feel bad for him
No
there.
me puedo hacer, es que voy a ir agresiva. Que sea lo que Dios quiera.
Chris is saying, I'm gonna go for the aggressive move. She doesn't spot the mate, but she does spot another aggressive move, rook to
No puedo
e2.
hacerme nada porque tengo este peón aquí defendiendo la torre y yo puedo llevarme eso al alfil. Si mueve cualquier
I'm
otra
threatening
cosa,
the bishop and I'm defending my pawn, she's saying.
Her position's still great.
Yes, and bishop
yo
d3 could
pensaba
still be
lo que
very
debería
strong
hacer
later.
es intentar bloquear su torre
I want to try to block his rook.
Con el mío, para que al menos necesite una jugada, pero me la va a hacer instant.
Because she really wants to get the rookie one move. Unfortunately, she's focused on that move a lot, but
No soy capaz de verlo.
she
No soy
cannot
capaz
make
de
that
verlo.
work unless Fundy is offering her to take what? He has just played rookie one?
¿Pillas tú?
I think I know why he did that. He saw the checkmate ideas and he's just trying to like escape, even if it costs him a lot of material.
He played rook to e1, offering the rook. It really must be what you're saying, Robert, that he wants to get some luft for that king. It needs to breathe.
She has the same checkmate though. Rook takes and bishop d3 results in the same checkmate we were just looking at. It's very hard to take with a rook on e1 when you can take with a pawn, but this move bishop to d3 as well will lead to checkmate as long as she realizes that bishop can come into the picture.
I think she's trying to bring in her other rook, and she has just double rooks on the e5 to maintain the pressure and put more wood on fire.
It's actually kind of a great move.
Y decir, esto era un mate en 2. Pues vale. Pues yo qué sé, estoy ciega, tío. Si era un mate en como si era un mate en 25.
She's saying probably it was like mated too, and I didn't say it, and I'm blind, but I'm playing this move.
Porque me queda una torre aquí libre. Me queda una torre libre, tengo una oportunidad. O sea, no podía ser otra cosa que no fuese eso.
She's still talking about the rook e2 move that she thinks that had to be played to activate the rook.
No. Es que, claro, no, está bien. Creo que era la jugada buena.
And now she's saying that I think this rook move was good to double rooks and maintain the pressure there.
And did she see that she could take that? Oh my gosh, that rook on e1 with the pawn, but now it's just take with the pawn. I know you had the rook. Oh, she took with the rook.
I think she was so focused on maintaining the rook on e2 that she didn't even consider that capturing with the pawn would have led to promoting that pawn next move. I was completely winning on the spot. Both pawns are there on the second rank.
Yep.
And checkmate soon.
And now her king is up, and she put the king up. And do you see the eval bar? It's going up in white's favor. And then back. I don't even know why it went up in white's favor.
This is such a complex game. I think it's very normal that the players are missing a move here and there. It's not a normal structure to have the doubled pawns so close to the white king. It must be very confusing to both players.
Oh my gosh, it's checkmate in 1. Oh my gosh.
Will Fundy see it? Chris had mate in 1 earlier. Will Fundy see it now?
What? Hola, ¿dónde está el hack aquí?
Oh.
Chris is still just looking. Wait, why is it mate? Where is the check? She is very confused because obviously she was focusing on her own attack. I don't think she realized that her king 2 can get into this much trouble. It came out of the blue.
And Fundy, for him, Christmas came early because that was a true gift. He was all sorts of busted, and yet he escapes, not even just with surviving, but with a full point. It takes a 1-0 lead. And I really can't believe what just happened there, but that's what time trouble does to you.
That's what time trouble does, but there will be a second game. We're going to take a quick break, and then maybe there will be a tiebreaker if Chris continues like this, because honestly, even though Fundy is the higher rated player and favorite for the overall championship, this was a very exciting game where Black had chances. Chris had checkmate in 1.
Yeah, it wasn't even just chances. She was pretty much winning throughout. She was playing so well. Unfortunately, it didn't go her way. This has happened time and time again in chess events. But for now, we are going to head to a quick break. And when we return, we'll be back with the second game of this match between Fundy and I am Cristinini. we know everyone loves some good old-fashioned merch. There's new merch available. Go to go.chess.com/merch and get 15% off with the code POG4. And you notice that bestseller in the middle. Danny can only hate on it so much. It continues to sell, Anna. I think at this point, I also need to get one, even though I don't really want one.
I think Danny is selling it by completely disagreeing with the choice of the community, making it a bestseller when he hates it. I love the pattern. I love the colors. Make sure to pick up any of the merch items with 15% off by using the code POG4.
Indeed. And well, now game 2 is underway. Chris gets the white pieces. She starts with E4. We get a Sicilian. Anna, have you done any work on the Sicilian with Chris? Because it may not be a familiar opening to new players.
I have made a video preparing against Fundy's openings. I don't know how much of that will come across because all these days, Chris has been extremely busy and it's very difficult, as you know, when the creator's schedule doesn't allow much coaching. So I tried my best to sum up everything in a 5-minute video and let's see how much of that will be on the board. I do like the knight development and if she remembers to push the pawn to d4.
And we have her on screen.
Es que no me mola, ¿eh? O sea, a mí saque los peones de los alfiles me vuelve un poco loquita.
She doesn't understand fully these pawn pushes that are the bishop pawn. She is not that familiar with these openings. But she already improved from what she played against Crocus because there she moved bishop to b5 on the second move against the Sicilian. That's how confused she was about this pawn push.
We'll see if she plays your d4 suggestion. Oh.
Boom, 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 boom. Y no me puede
Good calculation there with the boom, boom.
Porque tiene la reina bloqueada.
And you can't do anything to my queen because your queen is blocked. Good thinking, Chris.
Una segunda partida rapidita. Total, estoy enfadada de la primera.
She's still upset due to the first game, so she's saying, let's make this a quick game. But I'm hoping quick game in the sense that she is upset and gonna go super aggressive. She likes to attack.
Did she analyze the first game so she knows she missed the checkmate?
Yeah, she was analyzing it during the whole break and she realized that she had checkmate and that she should have taken on e2 with the pawn. So she's really upset that she missed it.
Well, off to a very fine start thus far. In fact, Fundy moved the same pawn twice. And this is a good teaching moment. Very good teaching moment. So Fundy moved the same pawn 2 times in the opening, e6 and then e5. And in the process, Chris just made a great move because the d6 square is loose as only the bishop defends and the queen will recapture. So knight d6 check is a way to get the bishop pair and control the dark squares. If black says, no d6 for you, put a6, but then knight comes into d5 and all of a sudden black is toast because of the c7 square. So moving the same piece twice in the opening, these pawns like this, it could be a big problem.
It could be a big problem. And I'm wondering if Fundy is looking at those options now after a6.
Yeah, Chris is sort of forced into knight d6. She doesn't want to play knight back to a3. So then you look at your other options and knight d6 stands out.
She's looking at the square on her stream. I think she's just double checking if there's anything else.
Can I just like be very annoying and just full on attack somehow?
Great decision. Oh.
Okay. That's fair.
I think Fundy was surprised by that.
Let's see if he'll find a way to deal with that queen on d6. It's a beast. And knight to d5
Is queen d
would come with a knight forward.
like queen e7, is that good? They'll go queen c7 maybe.
I can draw the arrows for him.
I think this is okay.
He wants to offer the queen trade, and he does.
If they go queen c7, right? I can push my pawn to d6, and I think that traps the queen unless. Okay, well, guess we just do that.
I was going to say that Chris really loves trading queens, so I was guessing that she would be happy with the trade on e7.
She very much should be, because she has the bishop pair, and this pawn is called the backwards pawn. So when white either goes rook d1 or castles, regardless, there will be a rook on this file staring at this pawn. She's really playing excellent chess thus far. Immediately brings the bishop back. And I think one of her best characteristics as a chess player is keeping the tension alive rather than forcing trades, because a lot of people would say, I can take a knight, let me do that. She says, no, my bishop is good. And what are you going to do about it? If you play g5, my bishop safely runs back to g3 and attacks this pawn. I mean, seriously, she is playing great chess in these 2 games thus far.
Yes, I'm very impressed, and that she doesn't let the opponent get an easy development by trading on e7. We would only be helping the black pieces to get out. The g8 knight is still undeveloped, as well as the rest of the king side and the c8 bishop. Basically, black needs to hurry up, but Fundy goes for another knight move with the same piece, chasing the bishop.
And now there's a cool choice. You can play knight d5. The knight moved away from e7. That threatens a big fork on the c7 square. We mentioned the dark square problems for black. All these pawns are in light squares. You see these pawns, which means that squares like, let me change the color on that, b6, d6, c7, c5, all these light squares are under white's control. So an eventually knight to d5 would be good, but she protects her bishop, ruins her pawn structure, Anna. Not the worst thing in the world, but not what you want to see.
Yes, this was unfortunately not an easy decision. Knight d5 I thought was difficult to spot. I was expecting the bishop going back to g3 just to maintain the pressure and not allow black to ruin the pawn structure of white on the king side. Yet she's still ahead in development and castles queen side immediately to get the rook to the d file.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that bishop on c8, Anna. That bishop's going to have a very hard time leaving. I think Fundy will try to fianchetto, put it on the long diagonal, but as soon as the bishop goes that way, the pawn on d7 loses one of its important defenders. So I think that Fundy still has work cut out for him. Rook g1 looks good for Chris, because you're putting a rook on a semi-open line. The rook stares at the black king. That would be a good move.
Yes, and this is a so much more slow-paced strategic position, as in a very different from the first game where there were tactics everywhere.
Así que esta se la dejamos aquí, ese quietecito, con lo cual igual puedo mover hasta aquí la torre, porque él no me
She
puede
wants to
capturar.
put pressure on the diagonal, and if she's saying, if I had my rook on g6, he wouldn't be able to capture it, so she's thinking of bringing the rook to the g file. All right, Chris, I don't know where you get this from. You are too smart for me.
Podría
She's
empezar a subir con las
incredible.
dos torres ya, ¿eh? O sea, coloca aquí las dos, ¡pam!
She
No me
wants
la
to
puede
double
pillar,
rooks on the g
solo le
file,
queda hacer esta.
and then pum. That's literally what she said.
Subo, me la pilla, subo.
She's already calculating checkmate
altura,
ideas
no,
with the
Happy,
rooks on
no
the
pilla.
g file.
Se quedaría libre.
But she always wants to
Necesito otra
go
casa-
very
otro
deep
que me
into a
ataque esta
line and
casilla,
thinking of
que
rook
la
g8
cubra.
at the very end. So that is not that
Necesito
necessary
mover
to
el
see
caballo,
10 moves
pero
in
el caballo
advance,
está
but it's good
protegiendo
that
el
she
peón.
has
Si lo
plans
muevo,
on the
el
king
caballo
side.
suyo se va a llevar mi peón. A no ser que suba esto. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Por qué has hecho eso y has dejado solo al rey?
She's asking, why did you do this move? Isn't it leaving your king alone?
Y además ahí.
And why to that square?
And then she plays f3, which protects the e4 pawn, because black has ideas of playing pawn to b4, but now this pawn on e4 is defended. So honestly, Anna, she's doing such a great job. We didn't love the decision to play g3 and double her pawns, but that's not important, at least not right now, to the state of the board here, because she has control of the d file. She will control the g file, the d5 square, the d6 square. Her position is better, not winning, far from it, but still, she's the one with the better chances thus far, and she's putting her pieces on great squares. The knight and bishop are perfectly well developed and covering this d5 square.
Absolutely, and I wonder if Fundy chose rook to d8 because he's trying to push d5, but white is controlling that square with 4 of her pieces.
Mm-hmm. All of these pieces here. And Fundy
Yeah,
trying to make
that's
it work.
okay. It forces the knight to go somewhere. He'll probably go to d5. I take, they take with pawn. They have isolated pawn that way. On f3, I can then put my bishop onto, like, I don't know, b4 or a b1, I mean. think. Right, so if I take, they take with pawn. I push my pawn. Yeah, actually, this seems okay. If I take, as long as they don't take with, okay, all right. Well, now I can start attacking, right? Bishop b7, something, and then bishop c6.
Yeah, I'm just making the arrows for his moves here. I think that's a very difficult thing to lead with a heavier piece because we're told to keep our pieces close to ourselves so we don't lose them. But rook takes d5 had a direct threat on this pawn on e5 here. And it's actually very difficult to defend because if you play pawn f6, you expose your king to a discovered check that would lose in the spot. Just to show that, rook takes d7. Uh-oh, can't take that rook there because it's a check. And if you play it instead d6, then the rook comes over to d1 and you double in this file and down goes this pawn on d6. So I think rook takes d5 was a great opportunity, Anna, but I understand why she took with the bishop here. It attacked the rook in the corner and keeps everything nice and tidy.
Let's tune in with her stream because I'm curious if she still wants to double rooks on the g file. Oh, I guess rook g1 is a sign that she at least wants one of her rooks on that semi-open 5. Very logical.
And we'll see if she gets to play her lovely rook g6 idea because the pawn on f7 cannot legally capture. It's pinned to the king. So that would be cool. Just don't play it if your bishop is under attack. That's the one thing. If bishop b7, you don't want to play your rook to g6. And Fundy, going with his plan, brings that bishop out and he has completed his development.
It's a very good idea by Fundy. Obviously, that bishop was undeveloped and also the d5 bishop of white is really strong. You want to get rid of the opponent's strong pieces, chase them away or offer trades. Bishop b7 is therefore the best move here. And the rook endgame, I think that would be fairly equal, especially considering how there's going to be less tactics and less blunderable moments. I think that would be a calm position.
Yeah, there's one cool trick here. In the event of a trade, rook d6 is a double attack that doesn't look like a double attack because a6 is clearly under attack. But this rook doesn't just attack g7, it pins the pawn to the king. We need to remember that. So the pawn actually cannot legally capture, which means the h6 pawn would also be under attack. So there's an opportunity here for Chris to get her rooks in the game if she's able to see it. But instead, she went pawn a3, which is a fine move, offering a trade. And then after bishop takes, she should still take with the rook.
I wonder if that's what her idea is, or will she take with the pawn instead?
Hovering on the rook.
Seems to be that she wants to take with the rook. And that's the better choice to keep the d file. He's gonna do something strange to me. I don't want this. I'll trade. I don't care. She does care though, but she doesn't want to blunder anything.
Pero vas a venir tú.
Oh, great though. Again, don't speak Spanish, but I can see the move she's hovering over, doubling the rooks on an open line. And her rook is going to be active in the event of a trade.
Camino al peón, que luego tengo que estar pendiente del peón.
Yeah, very good choice indeed. She in the end said, no, I actually prefer you take. You take. And then my rook will be there.
Solo, que lo sepáis.
She's saying probably it will be a king and pawn in game.
Well, I hope she's been watching some Mr.Beast because Mr.Beast has showed us that in these endgames, you need to bring your king into the picture. So in the event of some trades, maybe one rook, maybe both rooks, she'll need to bring her king up and use it as an attacking piece.
I wonder how Fundy will react because it's a difficult moment for him. There's so much pressure on the d5, the d7 pawn hanging.
That's right.
Yeah, probably.
And he takes. She immediately takes back with the rook.
Great choice. And Fundy pushes d6 to guard the e5 pawn.
Mm-hmm. And, well, she needs to win. If she had won
the
advantage
is if I draw, I think I still win, right? Because that's a draw half a point.
This is exactly what I was going to say. That's exactly what I was going to say. Look at this.
So
draw for me is still good. So if we go back and forth here on these pawns, it's still good for me.
Oh, Fundy, you are having some telepathy.
What a player, though. She is actually ridiculously good.
Oh my God, that is a true sign of another great player, though. When they acknowledge how the opponent has outplayed them in the previous game. Fundy was saying he didn't deserve to win the first game. He's very well aware that now with a draw, he will move on to the next stage. But the game is not over. They're both bringing the kings in.
And Fundy's king has an easier attack because his pawn's on h5. So for Chris, she can play the move h4 herself to try to take away that square, or she can bring her rook back to d5 to attack this pawn. And Fundy's okay with the draw. She's bringing that king in, Anna.
She's trying to get the king all the way to d5. At the same time, Fundy is also going for the king side pawns. This is going to be a competition on who is faster. Will this d6 and e5 pawn something funny too happening? I think Crystal just saying, you take mine, I take yours, and let's see. Funny. Oh, she's thinking she should have pushed f4 earlier.
¿Qué haces? No te entiendo.
What are you doing? I don't understand you.
No sé lo que estás haciendo.
Friend, I don't know what you want. So I'm gonna take the pawn.
Y ahora voy a por tu torre.
And now I'm gonna go for your rook.
But that...
But she could have pushed the pawn instead. She had the c-pass pawn already. What am I doing? She's saying. That was a check, right? Now it's not a check. I don't know what we are doing.
Pues lo escondo.
So I'm gonna hide my king.
Va a llevar ese de ahí al fondo. Vale.
But then he will take my h pawn. I think she lost the thread there, but she had a chance to start pushing the c pawn after she captured the d6 pawn. She had a pass pawn there that was a promising pass pawn.
Yeah, in fact, the king was in a perfect position to usher that pawn across the other side and get a queen. So you see the evaluation bar heavily in her favor. And then as soon as king c6 was played, Fundy finds probably the only move, because her threat is king to b7, rook c8 check, and takes the pawn. So great find by Fundy. Unfortunately for Chris, her advantage is slipping, but this is anyone's game. And she has a passed a pawn, and her rook and king are in pretty good locations.
It's just a pity that she felt the need to hide the king, because by hiding the king, it means that it's in front of her pawn.
To put the rook back, and I go back. I can go back and forth and win.
Love that Fundy thinks about how to draw the game. He's saying if the rook goes back to a5 to defend, he'll play rook back to b2 to cut the king off, and then they'll repeat moves.
Right.
And Chris is trying to not repeat. She wants to
There's
win.
no way of pushing that pawn unless you bring your king in, and that's just going to take you way too much time, right?
I'm not sure where she's going. She feels the need to run back with the king. She could have tried to push.
I think Fundy played king g3 to avoid rook b2 check, a forcing trade with the king here,
Oh,
and then the
very
a pawn
smart.
running. But
It could have been a draw.
Still good for black.
You put your rook on b2. I think it's not a draw anymore. I think I win. I take, she takes, I go up. Bloop, bloop. Yeah, I get a queen before her. Yeah.
They actually queen at the same time, but he's going to take a second extra pawn. Or he might make a draw, Anna.
That's what he was trying to do earlier. In any case, he defended so well, a difficult position earlier. All the credit to Fundy for his resourcefulness in a not so easy middle game where he was undeveloped and had to be under a lot of pressure. And now he's the one with the two extra pawns, threatening e4 to trade queens, and there will be no more pieces left for Chris.
Yeah, and wow, I mean, Fundy, he rebounded nicely after that first game. And even in this game, he was in some trouble, but I like the way he worked out of it. He was making moves with purpose. He said, I can make certain trades. He offered a rook trade on the b5 square earlier. So I did enjoy the way he played this game. And I think that Chris, she shouldn't be upset with herself. Missed opportunity, sure, but I mean, she is a heck of a chess player. 509, get out of here with that rating. She's so,
I know.
so much stronger than that.
I know. I think she'll be upset for the first game, but the second game, Fundy, he held it when he had to. He defended. There could have been a threefold repetition, but Fundy was always aware that a draw favors him for the match result. He was very pragmatic about it, and now it's just going to be up to whether we're going to see a checkmate or stalemate. I don't think Fundy will stalemate.
No chance. Although if he just wants to win the match, a stalemate still does that. And he was talking about making it draw. But at this point, yeah, no reason not to just win the game. And he has the great technique. You follow the enemy king in the exact direction. If they move one square diagonally, you move one square diagonally with your queen. And now he's going to deliver a checkmate. That's it. That's the match. And
Oh my God! What a game! What a game! What a game! That's actually insane. Oh my God!
What a game and what a match. This match has had it all, especially that first game with the fireworks back and forth and the missed checkmate. We're gonna have a hard time choosing the play of the game, Robert.
It's going to be difficult. I think in the first game, there were so many moments, but as we choose the play of the game presented by Eternal.gg, we'll stay within this game here. And I think the critical moment was in that rook endgame, because after it looked scary for Black because White's king was out on the open, one mistake by Chris in a position where she should push her pawn. As soon as the king went to c6, I think a lot of players would just move their king up the board, try to get some pawns, but not Fundy. He said, my rook is passive, let's make it active. And as soon as he did this, he turned what could have been a bad position into one where he has the upper hand. And not only did he hold the game, he ends up winning. Moves like rook to b2, also very nice, and then brings the king in, scores the full point. So Anna, I thought it was a really lovely showing and good calculation by Fundy in the endgame, getting queen simultaneously, but winning all the pawns.
I agree with you, Robert. But what also matters is if you guys agree with us, let us know. Do you think this is a moment that deserves to be eternalized? Make sure to go to eternal.gg and connect your Twitch account on Eternal. It takes only a few seconds. And as soon as you have your Twitch account connected, you can type Eternal in the chat at any point of the show where you think that is a moment that should be immortalized, eternalized for the rest of chess history. With every match, we're going to choose 3 lucky winners that will win free packs. And that's all you need to do. Type Eternal in the chat at every moment where you think this clip, this moment should be remembered forever from PogChamps.
Absolutely. Well, Anna and I are going to take a brief break just so we can bring the players in. You will not want to miss their thoughts. Chris may leave the tournament, but she played so well. And Fundy, I'm sure he's just taking a breather now because that was a close call. We'll be back in a few for more from PogChamps 4 presented by Coinbase. And we return with both players. I am Cristinini and Fundy. And Fundy, congratulations. But I have to say, first and foremost, Chris, you were amazing. I was gushing the entire time about your play. If you rewatch the video, it was really a sight to behold. You've improved the most out of any player in PogChamps.
Honestly, like it was actually I played a game before this, which was against like a 1300, and I won that. I felt like I was playing against someone higher than that, genuinely. Like this was not to compare with someone who's 1300 and you're 500. I don't get it. It's very. Where is your rating? You need to be so much higher than me. You need to be so much higher than me. You absolutely had me in the first game, and the second game got close as well. It's ridiculous.
Estoy muy enfadada conmigo misma porque he perdido la primera, que pese a haber perdido la dama, podía ganar, la tenía ahí la partida y me enfadé mucho conmigo y no sé si me ha influido un poco en la segunda, pero igualmente Fundy juega genial, o sea, súper bien y he disfrutado mucho estas partidas, mucho.
Chris, you're just saying that she is very upset for the first game because even though she lost the queen, she still had chances, and then she realized when she analyzed the game that she had checkmate.
She didn't just have chances. She 100% would have won. 100%. That wasn't just chances. No, she won that game, in my opinion. It's just unlucky. Genuinely just unlucky.
She added after that, though, Fundy, that she is also very impressed with your level, that the way you came back in that game and the second game too, because that was a very close game, as you said, Fundy, and you move on to the semifinals. Chris, yo lo que te iba a decir que estoy súper orgullosa, y para PogChamps 5, o sea, si tú quieres volver, te hacemos campeona, porque eres increíble. Te hacemos la campeona. Tienes todo el potencial para ser campeona. I'm just calling Chris's PogChamps 5 champion. I hope you guys are ready for that.
Funny, I
vouch for that. I genuinely do vouch for that.
Funny, I feel like we should have a separate conversation, just the two of us. But on a serious note,
learn Dutch and we can do it. Learn Dutch.
All right, I'll try. But you really also have improved. I think people take it for granted a bit because you started as one of the higher rated players, but you have also improved throughout PogChamps. So going into the semifinals, you'll face the winner of 5-Up and Sapnap. How are you feeling about a potential matchup with either of those two?
I think both of them are incredibly good. I have played 5-Up a few times and I've played Sapnap a few times, and in both of those I've won a few and I've lost a few. So it's definitely going to be, whoever it is, it's going to be a match that's really tough. So I'll definitely have to train, which I'll probably forget to do. I'm excited. I'm excited to watch the match, and whoever is going to be playing, I'm excited to beat them.
Yeah.
Chris, and the question, sorry, Robert,
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to ask Chris that, unfortunately, because it's a knockout format, we will not see you for further matches. But I want to ask if you have any future plans. Will you stick to playing chess in your spare time? Will you practice further? And what has it been for you, this experience playing in PogChamps?
Para mí ha sido increíble porque ha sido descubrir un juego después de tantos años que me vuelve a ilusionar jugar de forma competitiva, en plan tomármelo en serio, entrenar, disfrutar, un juego en el que creo que puedo dar mucho y desde luego no lo quiero dejar. Después de PogChamps quiero seguir jugando muchísimo y el año que viene lo voy a ganar si me invitáis, 100%, tenedlo seguro.
Así es. Ahora te traduzco, pero sí, lo hacemos, Chris. Chris was just saying that this has been an incredible experience, the whole journey in PogChamps, and that it was another one of these games where she can fall in love with the game and get competitive and feel how amazing it is to improve at something when you're motivated and you're working hard on something. So she's certainly motivated to get back to further practice, come back to PogChamps 5 and win it.
Probably.
I really do hope you keep playing because seriously, the improvement you showed throughout this event was phenomenal. I really mean it when I say you improved the most of any player. So
genuinely, if in PogChamps 5 I watch the games and I see you with a sudden like 1,000 points in rating higher, I would not be surprised. I genuinely wouldn't be.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to say goodbye to both of you. Thanks so much for joining us, Chris. We'll hopefully see you in the future PogChamps, and Fundy, we'll see you in your next match.
Goodbye.
Good luck.
All the best. All the best.
Wow. And we were spoiled today with so many great matches. The last one being Fundy taking 2-0, but the score does not reflect how close that match was. It could have gone in Chris's favor, but he is the one who survives, moves on to semifinals. And he says he has faced both 5UP and Sapnap, has plenty of experience against both, and he thinks it'll be a good match.
I will definitely tune into that match as well. And I am so hoping for Chris to return for PogChamps 5 because she has improved so much. I cannot wait to see how far she can get if she will continue practicing and be motivated again to compete.
I can only say it so many times, and I mean it every single time. I am amazed by the progress she made because I caught one of like the early streams she did for chess and like when she was learning, and to see the way she was thinking through the positions, she will be a favorite in the next PogChamps if she plays, and she is just so good right now. It's such a fluid thought process, taking into her opponent's ideas into account, and I mean, seriously, but Fundy deserves a lot of praise as well. I think part of it is that we have come to expect Fundy to play so well that we take it for granted almost that he is such a good player. So to see him struggle with any player is surprising, but Fundy remains in the competition. He remains the player that everyone else has been talking about in terms of the favorite, but he will have his hands full regardless of whom he faces in semis.
Exactly. And the consolation bracket too has players that moved on already to the semifinals. We have witnessed the match between Mr.Beast and Harry Mack earlier, where Mr.Beast qualified to play against Tectone. Tectone was here with us in the chat rooting for Mr.Beast. So actually he got the semifinals match he wanted. And also on the other side, we see Jake, who has won his match against Minx, and his opponent will be either Rubius or Nick.
And Rubius needs to win for the Spanish crowd, but Nick, he joined the tournament the last possible second. He's been putting in great practice. I see every time I go on Twitter, recommended for you, Nick talking about his chess experience and all the work he's putting in. So with Anamaya, so it's been really good to see that since Twitch rivals. But Anna, well, we have some winners we should announce, I guess.
We do have plenty of winners, all of you who are seeing your usernames on the screen. Congratulations to you for winning some of the exclusive PogChamps 4 packs by Eternal.gg. Thank you so much to Eternal for bringing these exclusive eternalized moments to our viewers. And congratulations to all 12 winners. And remember that you can win tomorrow too. If you don't see your name, try again tomorrow, because with each match that we choose 3 winners. And even though our broadcast is ending, the fun is not ending ever, because every time the matches are over here, we want to encourage you to play, put everything that you have seen into practice, and join the Coinbase Community Cup, sponsored with our sponsor, obviously, as the main organizer and Chess.com. This is taking place every time after the broadcast. All you need to do is use the command Coinbase Cup in the chat to join and win diamond memberships as well.
Am I allowed to play? Are we allowed to play? Like, do we just stay on and go play some chess? Or, Anna, I've had a great time today commentating alongside you. It's always a pleasure. We've been friends for so long. And I just have to give another round of applause to the players, because every single one who took part in the match today, they showed their stuff. For that, it's not their main game, and yet they play chess in front of thousands and thousands of people. It's nerve-wracking, it's intense, but they continue to impress me, and I love the progress that they made.
It is incredible to witness the journey of each and every participant. Some players have studied chess for a few months, others have been around only for a few weeks. But I think in both cases, what we see is that each and every one of them feels so good, so satisfied and accomplished about any progress. Every single step forward matters. And we have seen an incredible journey for all of these 16 participants. Some of them will not continue. Unfortunately, we are already in the knockout stage, but we hope that all of the players, including Chris, who will not continue their matches, will return for PogChamps 5. And we will, before you go anywhere, if you are watching on YouTube, you will be able to see the premiere of the recap video on YouTube. So don't go anywhere. And if you're on Twitch, we also want you here because we always send the raid to another wholesome channel. And I want to see some blankies in the chat. Can I request for blankies? Robert, what do you think about the blankies emote? I'm a blankies ambassador, unofficial.
I always welcome the blankies. And I do want to thank everybody who's been sticking with us and watching the chess and these fun events. PogChamps is not possible without you, nor is it possible without the sponsors, Coinbase, Eternal, GG. Thank you so much. And of course, the whole team at Chess.com for making this work. But for now, we're gone. Enjoy the raid. Enjoy more chess. PogChamps will be back tomorrow.